Like and subscribe. Please get.
All right, now listen. We've got a blind date with Destiny. And it looks like she's ordered the lobster. Good evening, weirdos, and welcome to Total Recall, the show that remembers it for you, just like that robot just tried to tell you. I'm your host, JethroBot, and with me all the way from Norway this time. Well, no, he's in Vermont, but he just got back from Norway.
Hey, let me tell you something. Whatever you think you know about Norway,
Mm-hmm.
you should know this.
Okay.
It is the land of snacks.
Oh, yeah? Like ketchup potato chips? Can you get those?
So many snacks. You can get ketchup, potatoes, but you can get bugles that have been dipped thickly, deeply in chocolate.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. You can get all manner of banana-flavored candy, which I know is your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how many snacks there are.
Yeah. I absolutely hate bananas.
I know you do.
Those
That's why I
falling
brought
along
it
at
up.
home.
I
Well.
shovel well. I shovel very well.
Excellent. You brought your favorite line too.
I did.
Yeah. I also enjoy the potato salad sandwich speech. So yeah, tonight we're going to discuss Mystery Men, 1999's Mystery Men. 1999 actually being kind of a zeitgeist for film. There's a whole lot of stuff going on that year in cinema. And one of them was this very, very expensive comic book comedy, which came out at a time when they weren't even making that many comic book movies, let alone
hardly any
parodies. This was before Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. This is, yeah. So anyway,
and star-studded.
Yeah, and this gem was picked by our good friend and panelist Adam. We'll have him out here in a second. I did just want to, give some insight for my history of this movie. I did not see it in the theater. I remember looking at the poster and thinking I was not a big Ben Stiller fan, and I specifically don't like Tom Waits, so I will not go see this movie. And then wound up buying a cheap copy of it on DVD a year or two later, and I watched it a few times, and I liked it. I remember, watched it in 2000 a couple times and enjoyed it.
How do you not like Tom Waits?
Well, when I first heard Bone Machine, I really enjoyed it, and I still do like that album. I was hanging out every day with a very good friend of mine. It was just, one of those friends that you're like, oh, wake up. Hey, this before the internet, everyone. This is what we did before the internet. Hey, what you doing? I'm going to come over, just hang out all day, listening to music and such. And I very soon was like, I'm not down with Tom Waits, and my friend's response was to oversaturate and be kind of, cheeky about it. So, but that did it. That did it. I'll still listen to Bone Machine. But if you put on Rain Dogs, I'm going to be going off into a little place in my own mind that doesn't involve your your musical taste. All right. So what about you? And that's it. Like I watched Mystery Men a couple times. I remember I did enjoy it. I think I even watched it with the director's commentary, and then I put it on the shelf, and that's it. No more Mystery Men. I haven't watched it since. So this was my first time coming back to it. So what about you?
I hadn't seen it in a long time, but I
Mm-hmm.
distinctly remember, watching it years and years ago and really liking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did like it a lot. I don't know why it didn't make the frequent revisit list.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a copy of it that I
Mm-hmm.
never watched,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but I wanted to have it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I'm not sure why I never went back and watched it again, but I really, really liked it when I saw it the first time.
Well, perhaps we'll figure it out while we discuss it. Now, let's bring out the panelist who brought this gem to us. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, Adam Gray.
Ahoy, mateys.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I have not stopped sweating in about a week straight, so I'm
Mhm.
feeling pretty swampy.
Yeah?
That's good
Man.
sense. I want to congratulate you on the new and improved intro.
Oh, did you like it?
I don't know what the budget was on that, but man, worth every penny. Looking good.
I spared no expense. I
Those
spent no
title
expense.
cards. My God. All BSing aside, you are correct about Tom Waits' music.
Oh,
And I'm so glad to meet a grown-up, a relative grown-up that agrees with me.
oh boy.
There are certain Tom Waits songs or little bits that I've liked over the years,
Mhm.
but some people just don't know when to turn it off. It's kind of, it's a little cloying. It's like the first spoonful of hot fudge you eat is really good, and then
Yeah.
by the time you get down to the bottom of the dish, you really don't want any more hot fudge.
Yeah.
And
I have literally never had that happen. I have never had too much hot fudge.
from our resident snack master.
Yeah.
Okay, bad example, but
But then
I
again, I do love me some Tom Waits.
Mhm.
well, or maybe it's a good example. There have been little things, but it's like the band Morphine. Like every song is kind of the same song with the same sax solo, and it's like
Mhm.
a heavy rotation of that will make you hate them real quick.
Yeah. I actually got burnout on morphine too. That's
Yeah,
absolutely true.
all the same song.
Well,
but we're not here
well,
to trash Morphine.
No, we're not. No, we're not talking about any of these. But we'll talk more about Tom Waits. But
My
anyway,
point being
yeah.
is that I really like Tom Waits in this movie. I think he's well cast,
Mhm.
and I think he gives a good performance.
Interesting. But so what is your relationship prior to this episode? Prior to revisiting it, what was your relationship like with Mystery Men? Because you were not a kid when this came out.
No,
like much like me, you were like.
I was an adult baby.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes.
I'm almost 100% positive I did not see this in the theater, but a lot like the wizard here, I bought a copy like from the $5 bin way back whenever it came out on DVD.
Mhm.
Watched it, enjoyed it, and have good memories of it. But that would still be back in like the year 2000. Like I had not seen it since. I've had the copy on me, moving coast to coast 5 times. I've still got it, and it seemed like a good nomination for the theme of the show here.
Mhm. Yeah, as I have found that I do know people younger than me, and I have found that some people really celebrated this film in its day. When it first came out, and especially like probably as a rental and cheap used $5 DVD, like we all seem to have come across it.
I didn't even know that it was a Bob Burden comic. And I think I mentioned it last episode, maybe that I had actually met him and sold him back one of his Flaming Carrot comics that he didn't have. Found that out later. It's not a super approachable film. It's a weird genre.
Yeah, it is. It's on. It's on. Well, we're going to bring out some other panelists now. I do want to just brag a little bit that I had my 15-year anniversary with a wonderful, wonderful person who is joining us tonight, Bride of Pumpkinhead.
Woo!
How are you doing?
Woo!
Hello, my dear.
15 years for real?
15
It's
years for real.
weird.
You guys are still talking. That's awesome.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
we're goofs.
we talk. We
pun.
talk about mystery men.
Mhm, yes. We have talked about mystery men. Like
We have a similar
it's
thing
been a
going
topic.
here, yeah.
It's been a topic around the house lately. So, Pumpkinhead, had you seen Mystery Men before we watched it?
Yeah, I did see it in the theaters when it came out.
Oh.
And in our discussions about it, I realized that 1999 was a year I saw a lot of like big movies in the theater, which is weird because it's not like that anymore. Like I just don't go to the movies like I used to. So revisiting that time in my life was cool. But yeah, I did go and see it in the theater. I remember being really excited about it and feeling like I liked it, but wanted to like it more. And on, well, I won't jump ahead too much, but I still liked it. And as I continued to like go through, my early 20s, it was one of those movies that was kind of on all the time, at your friend's house or in the dorm room or wherever. So I remember it being just very around.
Yeah. Did you know folks who quoted it? Did you do stuff like that?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
But that was also a long time ago.
Yeah.
Forgotten many things.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to bring out Barbara now. Barbara, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, man.
Well, I'm going to bring out Barbara now.
Hang on. There we go.
Hey.
Can you say echo?
I am so tired. I am wiped out.
I
just got home like 15 minutes before the show started. So,
man. Yeah. Well, thank you for toughing it out with us.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
And I will echo her sentiment. In 1999, I was a new mom, and it just seemed like this movie was perpetually on cable, and I only saw bits and pieces of it here and there. So sitting down to watch it, earlier or last week, man, I think that was the first time I saw it all the way through. So it was charming. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, events in 1999 did not allow me to see this movie.
Yeah. Yes. Someone else in my life I know understands missing out on movies because of parenthood. It's my younger brother, all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Mr. Gravy, you're muted. There he goes.
Hey. We made it.
You made it. All right. I'm on the internet.
Yeah.
So, obviously you and I did not go see this movie together.
We didn't.
As we often did when we were, growing
Yeah.
up. But had you seen it before you watched it?
I had only seen bits and pieces of this movie, kind of like what Barbara said. Like, it's made its rounds on basic cable and stuff like that. So I'd seen bits and pieces of it. I remember in 1999, I went to the movies a lot. 1999 was kind of like the year my childhood got finaled. Like it was over. Like, episode 1 came out. There's lots of conflicting feelings, and I'm still working on it. I'm still processing.
We're all a work in progress.
And
Buddy.
yeah,
Fine.
1999, the year the Jedi died.
and they die still. Yeah.
Yeah.
With each new series they decide to make, it's like,
Yeah.
I just want them to stop now. Yeah, just
Yeah.
really. Anyway, but I digress. But this movie was like heavily promoted. Like I remember seeing the trailer many, many times. Because there were a lot of movies that I saw. I went to the movie theater a lot in '99, I remember. And so I saw the trailer a million times. I thought, it looked kind of stupid and dumb and silly and kind of fun. I mean, I was like, I might go see that. Like, I wasn't like absolutely like, I'm not going to go see that. But I thought it probably wasn't going to be very good. But not awful. And so this was the first time just today or earlier that I watched the entire film. And we'll discuss.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
as you know, we've kind of been doing some updates around Total Recall, and I would like to bring a brand new panelist to the stage. So please give a warm welcome to our friend Mandy.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh, and we have a new dog on camera.
And
Look at
a
him.
Adorable.
What's Pup's name?
Finnegan. Finn.
Finnegan. Finny. Finny. Oh,
Nice.
you can hear me.
He's a good guy. He wants more cheese. I was just giving him cheese.
I want more
Humongous
cheese
does that.
too. What a
I
coincidence.
also like
Yeah.
I'm down. More cheese.
How do I get in on this cheese? Man.
We were all in
Brought
the same room. I would have brought a cheese plate.
Yeah. Cheese. Well, I have a sense you had never seen this movie before, right?
No, I
Prior to-
didn't. I didn't go to the movies a lot when it came out. I remember seeing the trailer over and over and over. It was like really shoved down our throats.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked interesting. I like Janine Garofalo. I like Hollywood. I'm not a big. I definitely was not a big fan of Ben Stiller then.
Yeah.
So that kind of repelled me too. I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not
Agreed.
super into like superhero stuff either. I know it was like the anti-hero kind of thing. But I didn't rush to go see this. So yeah, this was my first time actually seeing the whole thing. And it was kind of hard to watch.
Well,
Sorry for your loss.
so on that note, I think we'll just go ahead and boom, bring it on up here.
I am kind of sad. This was the first movie that we did not mostly all watch together.
Yes,
that's true,
That's true. Yeah. 4th of July got in the way. Yeah. So man,
Travel. We had some people
Travel.
out of town.
We had
People went to
travel for sure.
Norway.
well, not
Utah.
only did
I was hanging out with the Mormons.
yeah, you went to
Utah.
Grand Canyon, right? Or
Did you go to
Well-
Moab?
No, didn't go to Moab. We did go to the north rim of the Grand Canyon one day, just to take a peek at it, basically. And it's kind of like the less visited part of the Grand Canyon. But the real highlight was Zion National Park, which I highly recommend to anybody that likes to look at amazing, beautiful things.
sweet.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, here we are. I did
Champion
really,
City.
yeah. This is Champion City.
Okay,
This is a party. dude.
opening scene, like, can we just stay here? I love this so
I'm pretty
much.
glad where I would have retired to.
Yeah.
I'm there right now.
This this is clearly what retirement homes should be like. This is like, they're always so depressing, but
Yes, they are. I've worked
Yeah.
in them.
oh,
They ain't
man.
like this.
They're not like this. There's
Yeah.
Mark. That's Mark Mothersbaug's torso and hands.
Wow.
I will say,
Yeah.
at best, though, we did have an Elvis impersonator come in one day and sing
Nice.
for the residents,
Cool.
but not like this. I mean, this is outstanding.
Yeah, I really would have liked if the party had gone on just a little more before
Yeah.
the interruption.
I will
But I
say that
hate Artie Lang.
You hate Artie Lang?
I do. I hate Artie Lang.
More than Ben Stiller.
What did he do to you?
Yes.
Oh.
My reaction is not nearly that visceral, but I get it. I
Yeah.
totally get it.
Ugh.
Artie Lang is kind of sleazy.
He
Yeah.
is. He's gross. I just ugh.
Well, he's playing a bad guy.
No, I just mean Artie Lang in general, though.
Yeah.
He's a sleazy motherfucker.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
He did write all those. He wrote all those robbing old people jokes, though. He got to write his own dialogue.
All by himself. Huh?
Oh,
And here are the mystery men. William H. Macy wields a shovel. He
Very
hits
well.
people with it. Yeah, he shovels very well. Here's Ben Stiller. He is going to tell the exact same joke over and over again. He's in a big hurry to tell it right now. As soon as he shows up, he's like, here's my joke. I'm angry, and that's it. That's my
And
superpower.
impotent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Angry
great.
and
ineffectual. Yeah, he's
It's-
ineffectually furious.
Funnier every time he does it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Impotent rage.
Mhm.
I want to say something though. This scene started, and I immediately thought of Batman and Robin, and I'm thinking they
Me
just
too.
like they shot this immediately after they like struck the set for Batman and Robin. They're like, hurry up, leave that stuff there. We got to shoot this other Goofy movie tomorrow. So
I
don't
thought
put
the
it all
same
away.
thing, Gravy.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
It's funny you mentioned that because they use sets from Batman Forever.
Speaking of impotent, our friend
yeah.
Jay Goodwin's here.
Here's his name. Hello,
Ouch.
Jay. No, I'm just
Hello,
kidding.
Jay.
He knows I'm kidding. All right, so the mystery men fumble around. They get beat up.
They're not
This
good
is
at
it.
this.
Yeah.
They're not doing well against the
No.
Red Eye Gang.
The Hank Azaria character named the Blue Raja. He throws forks.
Love that.
Yeah, he stabs William H. Macy in the butt with the fork. William H. Macy hits Ben Stiller, aka
Yes.
Mr. Furious.
Yeah, but we all wanted to hit Ben Stiller with a shovel.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
about it way too often.
Oh yeah, I mean that might be one of the things that makes this film tolerable is the fact that Ben Stiller is getting hurt,
Constantly.
and his character often complains about the pain he is in. So that kind of helps it feel good.
But Greg Kinnear is here to save us.
Yeah, Greg Kinnear shows up. If folks who don't remember, Greg Kinnear was the original anchor for The Daily Show. He was the first one. He would introduce.
No.
No, you're
Huh?
Thinking of
No.
Craig Kilborn.
Yeah, that's
damn
Craig
it.
Kilborn.
Well, what did Greg Kinnear do that he left?
Talk
the
soup.
movies for?
Talks it.
Talk soup.
He was
Talk
talking.
soup. Talk soup. Oh yeah, that's right. He was so good on that too. Wow.
Yeah, he was.
I had my wires crossed there. It's called Total Recall. But yeah, he was good at it, and he left it to become a movie star. And he did this and Nurse Betty, and What Planet Are You From? And I don't know why things didn't work out.
So I
Seems
want to
unfair.
mention
Yeah.
Greg Kinnear's publicist there
hmm
is
Oh,
Ricky Jay,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
an underappreciated master of sleight of hand.
Yes.
Possibly one of the greatest.
Yes. And he sadly passed away as his film career was really starting to take off. There was a time when you were just starting to see Ricky Jay in everything, lots of very good movies, and then he passed away, unfortunately.
And he actually had a superpower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He was the Blue Raja, but with playing cards.
right. In fact, he has a line in here that says, "I'm a publicist, not a magician." So it's great because he is a magician.
I love this
Heller.
Mhm.
aromatherapy and
Yeah.
laser hair removal.
In rental.
Oh,
I didn't realize that. Well, I'm sure I must have seen a scene with Tom Waits in this movie before at some point, but I'd completely forgotten Tom Waits was in this movie until I watched it today.
I think he's great in it. I think he's really well cast.
Mhm.
Well, I always enjoy Tom Waits in a movie. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of film credits, but they're all great.
yes. Yeah, Gravy likes Tom Waits. He's a
His,
fan.
his role in Coffee and Cigarettes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Coffee and Cigarettes.
Coffee and Cigarettes.
Probably not ready for a rewatch on that, but
Oh, I would.
it was.
I would
enjoyed it.
I'll watch it
enjoyed it
with the
once.
Wizard
All right.
and get down with some Jim Jarmusch.
He's
Hell
good
yeah.
in that. He's good in that Coen Brothers Western.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
good in that.
Pocket.
Yeah. And yes, Ricky Jay was outstanding in Deadwood. He was the business partner of Powers Booth. Oh my God. Their scenes together, so good.
Deadwood
Well-
is American Shakespeare. Nothing
Yeah.
bad to say about that show.
Yeah, I like that show a lot. So really, I think that was a fairly decent set of like action and comedy that takes place in the old age home. There's like good people getting tossed around. Some of the stuff that happens is funny. I'm trying to decide exactly where this movie starts to go awry, is why I'm bringing it up. It's because this scene really isn't all that bad either, right? He's just getting made
Script
fun of,
wise,
you know?
it's script wise. This is a good first act. This is
Mhm.
like the whole party thing works pretty well.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Ben Stiller starts doing Ben Stiller here.
yeah.
So, is that Paul Sorvino on the right? No.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Just for a second.
I don't think so.
I'm the
did-
guy that looks like Paul Sorvino.
This was the first film and only film directed by Kinka Usher, who gained notoriety in commercial filming, where he is responsible for the Got Milk commercials, where there was milk mustache on people, and
Well, that's his fault.
yeah, it's his fault. Yeah, it's gross. Like
Didn't he also
great.
do
basically haunted
Yes,
my
he did.
childhood. Yeah,
There was
Didn't he
another
al-
one in there.
Didn't he
it
also
was
do
the
Taco Bell?
Taco
Yes,
Bell
Yeah.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, the
Mm.
Yo Quiero Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So
Oh,
he made.
yeah, I don't think long format is his thing. He
It
should
may not be.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, this is
Really?
his only
He had his
movie.
own
Yeah,
there.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell.
Yeah, his only film. And we'll
You
figure
know
out
what?
why.
I've seen worse.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like
So, yeah. I mean, this conversation really isn't that bad either. Like,
I like.
he is.
I
he
like
is
Greg
Quite
Kinnear in
funny.
this scene.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. Greg
really
Kinnear is quite funny in this.
This is good writing.
Yeah, I think Greg Kinnear is like great in this role. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, he tears it up, man. He's all over it.
yeah. And I mean, I'm only making this connection because we started watching The Boys a few weeks ago, but I feel like
Oh, he's got Homelander written all over him.
he
Yeah.
does, but like he plays it, obviously much sillier.
less
but
fashion.
I can just
Mhm.
see this through line where somebody was like, yeah, but what if Captain Amazing was like actually like totally sinister? What if his eyebrows weren't as comical? It just seems like a very
Nice.
What if he drank
they
milk
seem
from
very,
a
very
glass
close.
instead of from a shapeshifter? I don't know.
What?
That's thinking man's joke.
Well, don't challenge me to think.
Oh yeah, as good
We
as
haven't
it
got
gets.
all night.
As good as it gets.
I
Yeah.
I just love that his uniform or costume or whatever has all of his sponsors like a NASCAR driver.
Yeah, he's a race
Incredible.
car.
Yeah, that stuff
Apparently
is.
that costume
Promo
was
Homelander.
so incredibly hot.
It looks unbearably leather.
Yeah, it was.
He is the corporate shill to Homelander's fascist.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
He,
yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah, it took Greg Kinnear 30 minutes to put that thing on.
What?
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's made of the scuba diver material.
Oh,
neoprene.
Neoprene?
Yeah, it's made of
Yeah,
neoprene.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
dude, he was sweating like crazy in that.
Yeah.
thing.
That
He
does
had
not
to-
breathe.
No,
No.
Nope.
no. He came away like there was an interview where he was saying, "I had no idea you could sweat that much." You know,
Making squishy sounds. When he-
I don't know what I liked more:
uh-huh.
the character Casanova Frankenstein or the name
Right.
Casanova Frankenstein.
I like the name better. Yeah, totally.
Can't we have both?
We did. We got both. It was awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what Jeffrey Rush was doing in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
Having a great
What?
time.
Yeah,
Having a
having
great
a ball.
time.
Frankenstein.
Getting a good fat chick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he just come off of that pianist movie?
He
where
is he's
Fine.
already an Oscar winner when he
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
this film. He has not done a film in Hollywood yet. So it's,
So
it
here's your
seems
baby
like-
right here.
Right, yeah. It seems like a real misfire to have him in this film as your
I
big
think
Hollywood
it's a
debut,
good
but-
I think it's a good testing ground for when he plays Barbosa in
Yeah,
the Black Pearl. Because it's only a few years off.
Mm-hmm.
he's got
He didn't,
gravitas.
he didn't want to go down a typecast route. He's like, I'm going to do the most opposite thing I can possibly find.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he just chewed that scenery with a plum. His facial, the stuff he does with his face and especially his eyes.
And a great voice.
He does. It's a great
he's great.
voice. When he's winking at people sometimes, or he makes other just little quick hand gestures, to acknowledge certain people, little waves and stuff. I mean, he's really into the role,
Yeah, he's having a ball. I think he's
Yeah.
just having a hell of a lot of fun.
Yes,
with it.
we
Yeah.
could bring the brewskis. Yes.
Mhm. Yes. Oh man, that scene.
We'll get there.
I will look forward to talking about that. I did want to mention that Greg Kinnear is also playing, his alter ego, a very famous and rich,
Sort of a
attorney.
Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne
Yeah.
hybrid with Clark Kent. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
but he's like,
playing this pretty well. Like this is a
Yeah.
good parody. It's a pretty good
Yeah.
send up of a tired trope.
yeah, and he's
I like the cured stamp. Like
Yeah.
he's cured. Yeah.
First time I've seen one.
cured stamp is good, and also the fact that he's like, I've brought a letter from Captain Amazing, and he's reading
his grocery list.
yeah. Okay,
So we're at the diner.
the diner, which has a you
Do they charge in euros?
yeah, or something like that.
No,
Yeah.
it looks like a euro symbol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go ahead and just start talking about how great
They
the art
invented
direction is
those?
in this movie.
The
And
art
costumes.
direction is
Is just phenomenal.
It really still holds up. It looks like
Mhm.
such a great blend of like retro and Blade Runner, and it's right on the mark. I think it's the best thing
Yeah.
about this film.
I would
Yeah, the-
agree. I would
The,
agree.
Yeah,
the
there's-
diner's spot on. Yeah.
Did they mention a year in this movie?
No, it's
No.
it's kind of meant to take place in a
The
not-
future.
And in every time.
yeah, and then every time, kind of like the way
Yeah.
Blade Runner is a little bit, but like this mix of like both Tokyo and New York.
It's a different time. It's a different
Yeah.
place. It's a different world.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
just like every scene, there is something interesting to look at. Like,
Yeah, great details.
yeah, but not like overwhelming
Mhm.
to me. Anyway, I mean, maybe you can disagree, but
No, it flows. It fits.
yeah,
It looks right.
Everything, as far as the art direction, works really, really well in this. And because you're going from the shoveler's house, which is this 1950s track home thing, and
Yeah.
it's up against this giant Gotham looking city matte painting behind it, and it just looks fantastic.
Mhm.
It doesn't look out of place or weird. It's like, this is the suburbs here.
Yeah.
It really is gorgeous.
Yeah, in superhero world, this is what
Yeah.
they look like, and
The scene later where they're out in the woods at the lake is a little bit off to me.
It-
It takes you out a little bit.
I agree.
Well,
I noticed that very strongly myself today. I was like, this scene does not look good.
yeah, and it's
Well,
the length
when
of this
we were
movie is
watching it-
kind of an issue.
Indeed.
What were you saying, Barbara?
When we were watching this movie and we got to that scene, I told Adam, I go, this looks so familiar to me. This looks like this like, and I couldn't think of what it was called. This like botanical garden things up by Pasadena. And so I looked it up, and it was the Arboretum in Arcadia. So it was the exact same place that I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I was guessing Universal Studios backlot, but yeah, it's actually a location.
yeah, and then this is like built around under a bridge in Los Angeles. I don't know much about Los Angeles to say that you could tell where exactly it might have been, but I feel like this is what you see all the time, or anytime they're outside, it's kind of in this same little area. They use this outdoor
One
set
of the
that they
things
built a lot.
that this movie does super effectively is a combination of real locations, physical sets, matte paintings, and a little CG, a little early CG. There's a lot of really good matte shots cut in here just to give depth and distance, and it feels good, man. It feels
And
good.
Disco Boys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Disco Boys are here.
we like the Disco Boys. We like Eddie Izzard.
Very much.
We are fans.
I love his American accent.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to listen to.
It kind of freaked me out just a little bit when I heard it. It's like,
Because
ew,
in
I
a
don't know
good
if I
way, though,
like that.
like you want.
I don't
It's
know
a
if
good
I like that or not.
Well,
know,
Tony.
Yeah. But I feel like in this context, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. I do wonder if maybe Claire Forlani had maybe like tried to give him some notes. It seemed like she had it down much better.
Yeah, I was really shocked when I heard her accent, talking behind the scenes.
She's the waitress character, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Just only like 3 or 4 years out from
This shot.
role in Mallrats.
Yeah, look at this.
Mallrats. That's I
Mallrats,
cannot place
all
her.
Yeah.
Can anyone tell me why he decides to rip the dinosaur head off, though?
He's frustrated. They've had a
Yeah.
bad night. He doesn't want to back the car up and remove the toy, but he wants to bring the toy back. So.
Yeah. He's probably tired of just adding to the problems that occur in crime, where they show up and they just cause more property damage.
And get beat up.
Yeah, get beat up before Captain Amazing appears and rescues everyone. So
Yeah, so this is a nice detail. His vest is his son's umpire or catcher's vest.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So they're having a fight about that right away when he walks in.
Yeah. She doesn't like him being a superhero.
Of course not. She
Yeah,
is
but
terrific
God
at
gave
this.
him a gift.
Mhm.
My
He's the
favorite
shovel.
quote from that whole movie.
I shovel well. I shovel very well.
I don't know this actress, but she's quite good.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lewis.
The mystery men who, would appear periodically in the Flaming Carrot comic book. The original shoveler finds a shovel in a mine, and it has ancient writing on it, and he discovers that it is King Arthur's old singing shovel, and it speaks to him in proper English. And I feel like they really missed out on not being more faithful to the comic in that regard.
That might have been a little distracting. This movie's already 2 hours long. It's a
Yeah.
full 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been too much.
And there's
and I'm sorry, guys. They left some fat on the steak.
they sure did.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing you there. No way.
That would have been an excellent sequel, though. We could have got the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, that's a good point, Mr.
Are you
Wizard.
into
Like, just a
marijuana?
real quick vote. Who thinks they were shooting to make a franchise out of this?
I do. Absolutely.
too.
100%.
Oh, Uh, yeah.
do too.
It was on someone's mind.
It would definitely keep going if the box office had showed up.
Yeah. And just so you know, like the budget for this film came to $68 million.
That's a lot for 99.
They made like half that.
It is $5 million more than The Matrix the same year. $5
Oh,
million
God. Oh, Jesus.
the same year.
Jesus.
I need to sit on my special pillow.
But-
That hurts my feelings.
Embarrassing.
Ow, man.
yeah. And it made 36 total box office.
A lot of that.
36 million.
A lot of that is salary. I mean, let's just
Yeah.
say it's probably half salaries.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yes, in fact, Runaway Bride costs more than The Matrix. It was closer
What?
to yeah. It's in the 90
Julia,
million.
yeah,
something.
Julia
Yeah.
Roberts had a
Julia
super high
Roberts.
paycheck.
Damn, dude,
I
they
think
made a
hers was like
fortune with the
20
Matrix,
million.
yo.
Yeah.
They really did. But you know who the big winner was? Like,
Joel Silver.
well, the number
Yeah,
two.
I should.
The number 2 box office was The Sixth Sense, which cost 40 million, and the number 3 box office was The Spy Who Shagged Me, which cost 30 million.
Oh my
So that's all. That almost makes it worse. That
That's
they
pretty
got.
good for Awesome
Yeah.
Powers.
They not only got pantsed at the box office, they got pantsed by a different, way over the top comical hero comic book style movie. You know, like it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
That's a very Austin Powers sort of set we've got here in the disco room.
Yeah. Bicentennial Man came out in 99, and people talked about how Bicentennial Man was just like a disaster. Like, you know,
It is.
just
Oh,
came
yeah.
and went. Well, it made more money than Mystery Men.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a shame. That is a shame. That's a
Just
shame.
like Patch Adams, you know,
There is
like,
no God.
Oh,
man, what else?
It just
in
keeps
99?
getting worse.
Yeah.
How much bad news do you have, Jethro?
All right,
I'll let up. I'll let up.
I'm depressed.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
And we won't
gonna
talk
go
about
now.
Adam Sandler at all. David Spade. We won't mention either of these guys at all. Okay.
Okay, there's, you guys, there's this little scene in Monsters Inc. where the 2 interns are talking to each other, and one of them's like, "Hi, Mr. Sullivan." He's like, "Don't talk to him. You're gonna mess him up." He's like, "Oh, sorry." And he's like, "Stop it. You're making it worse." This is what is happening. It just keeps getting worse. You're making it worse.
Please stop helping.
Barbara, if you ever want to bring out your Monsters Inc. intern voices at any time ever,
Those are great.
it's making it better.
She is a nurse, after all.
Yes.
Incredible.
Well, it's unfortunate, and even though they saved money by using Batman sets. Well, anyway, here's Captain Amazing. He's confronting Casanova, and
These two are doing great together. There's
They
real
have-
good. There's really good chemistry going here.
they do actually have a really nice scene together, and these guys met on a first class flight a few years before they made this movie, and talked about, you know, how they seem to like the cut of each other's jib and would like to work together. So oddly enough, this is what happened when they did that.
I like
You
it.
know, yeah, but they did. Yeah, they're doing a good job, and this is you know, Greg Kinnear is not only like wearing a suit that takes half an hour and makes him sweat nonstop. He has the flu in this
Oh
suit.
God.
Yeah. So poor Greg. All that, and they only made half the budget back. And
they're doing the spy thing. They're
Mhm.
going through all of Casanova's little laser rings and evil villain weaponry.
Yeah. And that's something this movie has a lot, is like funny names for gadgets and stuff.
Very much so, especially when we get to Tom Waits' house.
Yeah, and Tom Waits wrote some of those funny names himself. Like when he talks about holsters and wad cutters and stuff. Like a lot of these actors really got to work on their material and come up with their own lines. So that might be one of the reasons why it's a little uneven.
Right. Oh, this is starting to make sense now, actually. Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. So there are some things about the start of this movie that I really do want to talk about. One of them is that when they first started working on this film in earnest, getting people attached, they went straight to Danny DeVito so that he could play the shoveler and direct the film.
No.
That was the plan.
Yeah, and it ended up being taken over by Ben Stiller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How does that happen?
Well,
we call that production hell.
And nepotism a little bit.
Nepotism.
Certainly. I'm sure DeVito had his pick of anything he wanted to do this year. So
I was going to say, at the time, DeVito was hot.
Ben did too. Ben was pretty hot then. He did. There's something about Mary the year before.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of had his.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. And this, I know we're giving Ben a lot of crap, but I do like his whole, when he lets his face get red and that vein pops out and then he grabs the little squeaky thing and he's like, like letting his rage subside. I like it. I think it's not a bad.
This is one of his better scenes.
Not a bad little moment.
The character actress in here, what else was she in? Does anyone remember? Because I have seen her before.
She passed away soon after this film, and she did the director knew her from commercials. She actually had some serious cognitive issues when they filmed this scene.
That I believe.
And it had to be pieced together through editing, so they had to spend a lot of time with her, working with her and around her to get that.
Let's talk about this truck. The
Herkimer
Battle
cool, man.
Chitney. Dude, this thing is so good looking.
I'd buy one of those. That'd be fun.
One.
Yeah.
I think this vehicle is one of the coolest parts of the movie.
Yeah, their whole argument is about how he needs to tear that thing apart for her.
But he can't.
And he can't. Yeah.
He can't be torn apart.
Yeah. Not even with rage. So, and now he's hearing about how he already knows that Captain Amazing's in trouble, right? Yeah, because he watched him go in there.
Yes. He was creeping around on the lawn with his binoculars.
He also suspects that Lance guy and Captain Amazing are the same person.
Which does create a funny running joke.
Yeah.
Actually, where the other characters are arguing about how it couldn't possibly be Captain Amazing. Captain Amazing doesn't wear glasses.
Right. Yeah. Right. The shoveler won't believe it, and then it's very funny when they meet him and he's strapped in the chair, and the shoveler holds up a couple washers.
Right.
And he's like looking at him through the washers like, well, maybe it could be him, It's not, it's not bad. There's some real good chuckles in here. I don't know if I'd call it laugh out loud, but it's got its chuckles,
They do a good job playing with tropes, and this is before we, as a culture, started deconstructing superheroes. So this was very early on, that kind of mindset.
Yeah, somebody made a point on Letterboxd, I won't take credit for this, that if this film had come out like 10 or 15 years later,
it could have been huge.
Had a very different story.
Yeah.
I think that's debatable, but yeah, that's definitely possible. Yeah. And I just want to get a little shout out that there'd been some great pieces of superhero deconstruction even prior to this. Of course, you had The Watchmen and
Yes.
and a comic book and cartoon that predates this that I think is brilliant called The Tick.
Yep.
The Tick did it too.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
The
right.
Tick.
Yeah.
Tick
you're
is,
right.
Forgot about the Tick.
one of the greatest. In fact,
Yeah,
at least.
you wouldn't lie to me, would you, little wooden boy?
Well, I guess the difference is that here we're deconstructing for a niche audience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, at post Marvel movies,
Mhm.
now it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
To use the word normies, that everyone knows superhero stuff, and to deconstruct it now with the boys is a very different audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is novel what they did here because they swung for the fences. They spent a bunch of money. You know, they got actors, huge
Mhm.
production quality. Yeah, so yeah, it's a novel thing. It just I think the overall results of the film are a bit mixed.
I have never seen Blank Man, Jay.
I don't know if Blank Man was first or not, or Meteor Man, but I know Leonard Part 6 came out before all those.
Meteor
Oh,
Man
shit.
was
Meteor
before this.
Man.
Meteor Man.
Stop it. Stop it.
And the Shoveler's wife was in Meteor Man.
The Shoveler's wife is in
Oh.
Meteor Man? All right. All right.
Full circle.
I think we got our next movie.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean, let's explore this early, I guess, all 90s superhero deconstruction.
Yeah, there's
I'll go down that rabbit hole.
yeah.
Make a
there's
list.
More, yeah, there's more than a little, really.
Yeah, it's all Tim Burton's fault for making that
Yeah.
Batman movie.
That could be a whole other show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
A
he's
whole other channel.
yeah. Well, I was thinking about it, like 68 million in 1999. That's probably closer to about 100 to 105 million today, and it like they actually do now make comic book comedies for that much money, with varying degrees of success.
Or back to Sandler.
But yeah, like I remember, Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and I don't think the humor in Guardians of the Galaxy is any less milquetoast than what you have here in Mystery Men. They're still kind of going for the same audience, but a little later.
I don't feel like Guardians is a total deconstruction. I think it's
Right.
exceptionally well done camp.
Yeah,
Is what I think it is.
Yeah.
This scene is very good. The writing is
Mhm.
very good. All three of them have toilet paper stuck up their nose because they've had
yes,
their faces beat.
good toilet paper gags.
Yeah, and they're
this
cheap
scene.
too. It won't break the budget.
No. In fact, the toilet paper gags were thought on set. That was not in the script. So a lot of stuff you see is. In fact, let us not forget to mention that they had a professional punter on the set to help with all the fork lines. Like they had a guy punning for them on set.
That's where your budget went.
Yeah.
Holy
Get a pun
crap.
guy.
How do I get that job? I can pun.
I think we have that job, but we're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we're donating our
Does it
funds.
come
We're a
with
bunch
dental?
of
I
chumps,
mean,
man.
how do you get that job?
Yeah. Is there dental?
I was trying to come up with a tooth pun after
Mhm.
that, but I'm
Yeah.
really slow-witted, so
Well, you're not going to get that job. Sorry.
no.
No
or
one's gonna
dental,
have-
or dental.
yeah. No one's going to have you on a set writing puns for them. So.
No.
But
You
this
do
is
it on
yeah,
the job site though, and then technically you're getting paid for it.
yeah. The pinnacle of the toilet paper joke is that she, embarrasses him, and he kind of scoffs, and it shoots out his nose and
Into the charity donation box.
yeah. And at the end of the scene, he grabs it and puts it back in his nose. So,
That's not hygienic at all.
yeah.
It was a different time.
here they are visiting Kel Mitchell of Kel and Keenan, Good Burger.
Keenan and Kel.
Keenan and Kel. Sorry.
It's Keenan and then Kel.
Trying to look like that thong song guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
I find the bleach job a little distracting.
Yeah. Very Cisco-esque.
That was his actual dad, who is also an actor. Portraying
wow.
his character's
Yeah.
dad. Yeah.
Nice.
They did a great job in his room too.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Barbara mentioned it's very Ferris Bueller. It's like so dense and just full of weird references, and you know that there's just some great jokes going on the wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it looks lived in. You know, it looks like that would someone could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, they listening to the director's commentary, you talked about how they really made it a point to do the shots where you could really get an idea of the room and see, like, you know, all the walls and the toys and like all the stuff in there.
Well, he's been living in this world, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's good graphic language. It's good telegraphing.
Yeah.
I would live in that room.
Yeah.
I did for a while.
I do kind of live in that room. Yeah.
Can confirm.
Yeah, well,
I-
this is where the invisible boy reveals that he is only invisible when no one is looking at him, including himself. And this was a drunken joke that the creator of Flaming Carrot told at a party. So when the one of the head guys at Dark Horse Comics decides to option Mystery Men as a film, he goes back to him and he's like, and you got to include the invisible boy joke you told at that party, you know. And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. He was drunk, you know. Didn't remember it at all.
That's great. Love that.
One of my favorite gags of the film is coming up here. Oh, we may have already even passed it, where he's like naming like all the superheroes that he knows, and he mentions White Flight and the Black Menace, who always work together.
That's awesome.
Oh my god,
god.
that was a detail that I definitely missed when I saw this in the theater. Like, I'm glad that we revisited it just for that.
Yeah, that's a good one. They got a couple good, quick, funny
Yeah.
jokes in there. Like when he's taking those guys upstairs to his bedroom, they walk by his dad. He's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm taking two strange older men upstairs in my bedroom." His dad doesn't even look for the paper. Like,
Yeah. And now we meet the spleen. It's Paul Rubens' character. We've been waiting for him. Here he is. And we're going to find ourselves asking, how many fart jokes? Is too many fart jokes? It's a good question. Yeah, exactly. Where is the line drawn? You know.
Well, this movie certainly
I think we'll find it.
tested the waters there. Yeah.
Yeah. The
But
original.
who better than Paul Rubens to deliver them, though? I mean,
And he's got this great, affectation in his voice where he's like,
he's got a terrible lisp. He's got
Yeah.
really bad acne.
yeah. He his original storyline, he tells his origin story right away, and he has a doozy. But his original storyline was that he was just the son of hippies, and he had a toxic waste accident, and that was it. So once again, the actors in the film wrote their own material, and Paul Rubens and Kinka Usher just kind of whipped up this different backstory in
This is like a rare incident of where you have all the right talent in place, improving the script. It's like the antithesis of Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because I got you. Because they're making it better. But apparently the script they had must not have been too good.
I think it was probably serviceable, but like you have good talent on set, and you give them a little freedom, let these guys riff a little with each other, It's all, it's all group scenes. It's all blanking out on the word, but it's an ensemble cast. So let them do ensemble stuff, and it works. And this is a party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
this scene
have-
rocks. Yeah, this is great.
They have Superman tryouts. A lot of the people who show up are comedians who have written their own material. In fact, the first tryout
I really
is
love that exchange too.
yeah.
I
Oh
do
yeah, it's
too.
great.
She's pitch perfect.
Yeah.
She really shines in that exchange. Yeah,
And
that's great.
William H. Macy is just so like
He is just
perfect. He's perfect.
Yeah.
He's a gem.
Great
He's a-
straight man.
He's an absolute gem in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is apparently a cut up on set. Like he's one of the guys who's always making you laugh off
Really?
camera while you're trying to do a take.
Yeah, I believe that. I
Oh,
totally
so-
believe that.
So even though he's always a straight man in film, like he is apparently, a
Notice
real
the,
goofball.
The detail of all the power lines in the background of everything.
Yeah.
Like
Doug Jones.
we're in the city. Oh, that is Doug Jones.
That's Doug Jones. Yes,
Doug
Good
Jones.
match.
Doug
And
Jones.
the waffler was.
Yeah, who's the
Dave
ballerina
Cook.
man? That's what I want to know who that guy is. He's great.
That's the director's boyfriend.
Yeah,
The
I
director. Yeah,
I think ballerina man is awesome.
No, that actually, that was somebody.
the waffler.
No, the ballerina guy.
He looks
Oh.
like Danny Trejo without the tattoos.
If Danny Trejo wasn't in prison when they made this, he would have been in this movie.
Oh,
No,
heck
I'm,
yeah.
I'm just kidding. He was well out of prison when this movie came out.
No, maybe not.
In and out. Let's just say in and out.
Well, the waffler was Dane Cook.
Yes, he
Like
was.
before he's really famous. This guy who played the bullfighter was apparently just that
Robert-
bizarre. Yeah.
Robert Musselman, and I'm not making that up.
Muscleman.
Muscle man.
Musselman. Robert Musselman was ballerina man, and he played one of the disco boys.
Oh,
Oh.
There was a PMS woman who's straight out of Flaming Carrot.
yeah. Well, Dana Gould is the squeegee guy, and I mean, maybe this isn't right, but during the director's commentary, Kika Usher said that Dana Gould wrote the material for PMS Avenger.
And here's our girl. Oh my gosh. What a 90s crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, between this character and the character that she plays in The Minus Man, I totally had a crush on her at this time.
Well, her own stand-up and stuff. She did a
Yes.
lot of different things. I just absolutely enamored of her sarcasm. Just absolutely.
Her stand-up is really good. She took a bowling lesson for this role.
Lesson.
One.
Yes, she took one bowling lesson.
You don't get commitment like that anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
She still has the bowling ball.
yeah.
She has it.
Awesome.
Oh,
She's
how
super
good for
cool.
her.
Yeah.
Ah, good
Badass.
for her.
I'm glad you guys are praising her. She is actually responsible for Ben Stiller being in this.
no,
Yeah.
No.
I
Yeah.
told you I'd ruin more.
Well, they're in reality bites
Um,
together, so they're chums.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
cool.
chums.
They are friends in real life.
And
That makes sense.
she was in the Ben Stiller show.
Yep,
Yeah,
she
she
was.
was on the Ben
Wow.
Stiller show. And they had actually approached Ben Stiller to play the Blue Raja and direct it after Danny DeVito, stepped away from it. And he was like, no, it's too much for me as a director. It's too big a project. I don't want to do it. And also, I don't want to play the Blue Raja because I don't want to get typecast a nerd. So Janine Garofalo, she joins it because Jeffrey Rush and William H. Macy are involved. She's like, oh, yeah, I want to work with those two.
That's
then
an
when
easy call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when she finds out that Ben Stiller turned it down, she calls him and she's like, what are you doing? Like, get on board with this thing, man. We're going to have fun. It's going to be a great movie.
Yeah, he was doing crap like Permanent Midnight right around now. Like, that is
Yeah.
one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Is it really? I've been meaning to watch it, because I'm
Oh,
just
is that
interested
his
in the
drug
elf
movie?
guy.
That's his
Yeah.
heroin movie.
His
Yeah,
heroin movie?
Heroin
Yeah,
movie,
it's
yeah.
not very
Oscar
good.
bait. It's
very good.
awful. It is
Okay,
awful.
I shouldn't say this, but I'm generally like not down with addict movies.
No, not as a genre. No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not-
Requiem for a Dream is like the worst Aronofsky movie by far. I don't like that movie.
I think it's the most difficult one to rewatch.
I
That's
was gonna say it's an amazing movie, but
technically,
But it's not good.
no way I
Like,
could
but
watch
I mean, it's like wow, you put in a lot of creative effort for
Misery.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes you want to shower real bad.
But that's
All
just
the-
me. That's just me, folks.
All this
Yeah.
set looks great. They painted the house the most screaming pink color they could get. All the
Boy,
terrible
That's no
lanterns,
Bisbal pink.
Yeah.
the squirrel
Oh my God!
thermometer.
In Midland, Texas,
What are those things hanging? Those
on
weird
one of-
party lots lights.
One of the
Yeah.
main roads in Midland, Texas, there is an adobe house
Mhm.
that is painted mostly Pepto-Bismol pink, except the trim is a neon green,
Mm.
Oh, well, then it's not Pepto Pink. It's the
Like a-
Maybelline mascara.
like pastel.
Yeah, that's
No,
a Maybelline
really is
mascara
Pepto-Pink.
tube.
It's the freakiest house I've ever seen.
Mm.
Maybe
I
it's
would do-
Maybelline.
I would do it.
It was definitely iconic.
Color blindness is not a laughing matter, folks.
Yeah.
Tropic
So,
Thunder. Yeah, I'll give him Tropic Thunder. I'll give him that much.
Yeah, getting back to where this movie starts to go awry, I think that the bickering isn't, like, it's not very funny, and then they go back to it.
It's
You know?
redundant. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very redundant and not.
It's
that
too
good.
redundant, and it doesn't sell.
I get it as a writing device, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's not as funny as it should be on screen.
Well, it's a pitfall of letting your actors stray from the script, because
Yeah.
I'm sure none of that stuff was in the script. It's just them goofing,
There had to be other takes, though. There had to be like
Mhm.
straight script takes and whatever, and that's what they went with. Yeah, it's not strong. A stretch Corvette is pretty strong, though.
I do like the stretch Corvette.
I
That's
love
pretty snazzy.
the Corvette, or the limo is a Corvette.
A
I think
Stingray,
that's
like
a
the
great-
least comfortable car you could possibly stretch out.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically 4 inches off the ground. It's like riding in a Plymouth Neon. It's a terrible choice. I love it.
There's a Corvette summer joke in there somewhere. I just know
Yeah.
it.
Oh, here it is. I was like, Jay had a great quote about Casanova's Frankenstein here. Jeffrey Rush is really, he's having so much fun. And his lines here where like he rolls down the window and pretends to order fast food,
Mhm.
again, written on the set by the actors. Like that happened a lot in this movie, which is crazy to think that they were shooting it on film and they're spending over $60 million. Like that ain't hay today. Back then that was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It looks like Stupenzo.
Yeah. That kind of sounds like Suspenso too. He gets
A little
that. I'm the one who gave your father the shaft because I'm American.
I'm doing pun work.
Disco is not dead. I'm an
Let's
American.
go as life.
Disco is life.
It is.
These little light boxes and stuff that they've tacked up all over the place. I mean, this looks like the parking garage from the Terminator. It very well could be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
they-
the same one. Yeah.
They've added a lot of nice details. A lot of the lights in the ceilings are off.
That's a good quote.
Yeah, I
Good-
think it
nice
took him 30
slide,
minutes to
nice
put
slide.
her eyeliner on too. Like, wow.
That was a Facebook profile pic, if ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Mr. Furious trying to remove the emblem of the Corvette.
That's funny. I laughed
thought
at
that
that.
was
That
good.
little bit,
I laughed
yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
The rest
I
of it is
laughed at that.
tedious.
Or he's
little-
trying to.
Yeah.
It's like a little like rabbit or squirrel or something.
Yeah. The when he puts his elbow on the car windshield, the first time they shot that, he broke the car windshield. So they actually had to take a break and, because he wasn't supposed to break it.
They're remarkably flimsy. I'll just leave that there.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that when Raja just like he's just keying the car.
He's forking the side of the car.
The Blue Raja, yeah. The original Blue Raja was a prisoner of war who learned to be deadly with utensils. That was his backstory.
It's a good backstory.
Yeah, a lot of these characters, they could have made something more akin to The Boys. Something.
This is
rated
a
R,
real. This is
where
a real
people got
Chinese
killed.
restaurant in L.A. If you go to L.A. Chinatown, Hop Louie is a real pagoda bar restaurant. I don't know if it's still there, but when I lived there around 2000, I did visit this place.
Nice.
Wow.
The neon is wonderful. It's
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome to me.
the food, not so much, but you're going there for the kitsch.
Yeah.
I love the conversations with her dad.
Yeah.
Yes.
She talks to her dad's head, the bowling ball. Here they're arguing, and she's like daring to put him back in the bowling bag. Yeah, those are good moments.
They have a tough relationship, but there's a lot of love there.
I will say, just to put
There's
it out
not
there,
a fear in the world.
it's another thing that they do a little bit too much of.
Maybe the spleen flirting with her, or her talking to her father.
No, her talking to the bowling ball. I mean,
okay.
I do like it for the most part, but like again, it's like the bickering. They just and also, honestly, like when you have like the ad lib component to a film script, it's always the hazard. It's always the pitfall that you're running into, is that it becomes hard to edit. It becomes hard to
that all goes
manage
down
it and measure it,
to the skill of the editor for sure. And I don't know who edited this, but I mean that's what editors do. They objectively take thousands of feet of footage and try and make the best possible thing out of it.
Unfortunately, it looks like Hop Louie closed down in 2016.
Rip Hop Louie.
It's now in the same afterlife with the Kahiki.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless the Kahiki.
Yeah.
It lives now only in my memory.
So happy I got to go there while it was still open.
Yeah. And I really like the gag that the Sphinx's actual power is that he can break guns with his mind.
Yeah, that's set up well in advance too.
Yeah, they set it up in advance, and then he just shows up to save their asses by breaking all the guns with his mind. And then they never use the gag again.
No.
Not once.
No.
In fact, they have this inventor character create a magnet to catch all the guns. And why? You've already got a gun solution. You don't need another gun solution. You've already got one. You're just like doing more stuff so that there's more stuff,
I do like the taunting that goes on before the fights.
Mhm.
Where they all just stand around schoolyard style and like, well, your power is turds. Just total kids.
Yeah,
Irony.
they tease them because their power is that they have guns. They're like, what kind of power is that?
What kind of power is a shovel? Yeah. And here comes Yoda.
Yep, and this is where the film starts to drag.
Yes, that's correct.
There's, even though they are setting up stuff that is going to pay off later, It's at what cost, really? You know.
This is, I think, the weakest link in the film, other than
No
Ben
question.
Stiller.
Yeah.
More than Ben Stiller.
Yeah, but this is like by far the silliest thing that Wes Studi has ever done in his career.
Yes.
And
yes.
you know, I tip my hat to him because he did. He was like, "No, I'll park my ego at the door, and you know, we're gonna do this."
Where else would we know him from?
Last of the Mohicans, Heat. Man, it's been in some other movies. Yeah, obviously he's buddies with Michael Mann.
Dances with Wolves.
I
Recently,
think
he was in
I
Reservoir,
think he was in Dances with Wolves. I don't think he had a major part, but he was in there.
Reservation Dogs.
Basically, a go-to Native American character. All right,
For sure. Yeah.
actor. Sorry.
Well, I know he's got his own fan club.
Send 50 cents in postage stamps to P.O. Box.
But he's, you know, he's good at what he's doing, but there's just way too much of it. You know, a lot of these jokes.
If I had to take a guess, is that he's not an improv guy, and so he's
Right.
he's only got the script.
He's sticking to the script. He's doing the lines that were prepped for the Sphinx. Yeah.
And it could be better. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, this is the LA Arboretum in Arcadia, California. Also home to the Fantasy Island set.
Oh, really?
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, surely they've shot more things than just Mystery Men there.
No.
Yes, they have. And stop calling me Shirley.
Yes.
Yeah.
This could have been a montage.
Mm-hmm.
This could have been a very much shorter montage. This is long.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It's a weird. We're in daylight for the first time, and we're in an arboretum, so it's just a little jarring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does really stick out from everything else.
They have all these tents, but they never even establish that they're staying in tents. You know, like it's like, where did this come from? You know, but,
This right here, by far, the very worst part of the movie, and it happens twice.
The farting.
Yeah. No, the farting
You're
is
setting
fine.
farts on fire? How
How
could
dare
it be
they
worse?
make the Smash Mouth twice?
Smash Mouth. We have to talk about the Smash Mouth problem.
Smash Mouth twice.
do we have to talk about Smash Mouth?
It made me
Are you
really
an,
angry.
are you an American or an American? Guy Fieri saw this.
Just as a side note, after you left the show on Friday, we ended up doing karaoke, and Stupezzo did. He sang Smash Mouth over the tune of Imagine, and Adam was so angry.
I was not pleased with
I
his
was like,
behavior.
I'm so mad at you right now.
I mean,
That's
it is kind of a clever gag.
Yeah. That is a funny gag. Yeah.
I felt like everything I knew was suddenly false.
I need to go. I need to get back to, because I did not go
You
back
don't
and
need
listen to the, like, usually if I re-listen to a B-sides, when we get to the games or, you know, other stuff, I'm
The
like,
last
okay,
hour
I don't know. Yeah.
It's usually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
We ended up doing karaoke, and we all saw Imagine, John Lennon, Imagine come up on our screens. We're like, oh, he's going to sing Imagine. And then Hey Now, You're an All-Star came out. It was so weird.
I haven't spoken to him since.
And all Adam could say was, I'm so mad at you right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Well, we'll have them on.
You should. Don't let him sing. Yeah, all of this stuff, like all of these tents and the loom and everything, like
Yeah.
it should be funnier than it is, and it's just,
Right.
it's not working for some reason. I think it's the daylight is a big
Yeah.
problem.
On set, and also the way it's revealed, and it just doesn't really come across.
Yeah, I remember like I was watching this, and this is like one of the parts that Axel was watching with me, and like we weren't saying it, but like I know that like both of us were making like sour faces, like like this is ugly and
You're
dumb.
both getting
like,
wrinkles.
For the reference, Axel's 15, so
Okay.
right, 15.
Yeah, he's 15.
15?
Yeah,
So,
I absolutely started zoning out here.
yeah.
It's
Looking
almost
at my phone.
it's almost half an hour, and it should just be a montage.
Right. Yeah, there's way too much of this scene, and there's a few other scenes that could be trimmed too. So it probably would have been remembered better, appreciated more.
Yeah, they should have pulled a mannequin
Mm-hmm.
montage.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of Invisible Boy making a costume. That's pretty good.
Yes.
But other than that,
yeah.
Paul
Hey, I'm
Rubens is holding it down. The rest just needs to be cut.
Yeah.
He's wearing the coat of many colors.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, like, I get that it's a big joke, but the Blue Raja's outfit, like, it doesn't look good on screen.
It's all stuff he's pilfered from his mom. Everything he's wearing, he took from
it
his
looks like
mom,
an old lady thrift store.
Yeah.
I like the cameo brooch. I do like that part of it.
Yes, that's funny.
But the rug he's wearing on top is a bit much. Hey, we're going to a fun abandoned carnival, and I don't know where this was shot, but Barbara seems to think that we just hired a carnival to come and set up on the salt flats. It looks like it could be. It looks
it's a dry riverbed, and that's all set. That's some of that 68 million, baby.
Renting dangerously outdated carnival equipment.
Yeah.
Now listen, if carnivals are good at one thing, it's up one day and gone the next. So
That's right. All that stuff folds into a semi truck trailer.
My daughter's pregnant, and she smells of candy apples.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's like scenes like this is why producers always are smokers.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea. It works okay. It's a hell of a lot better than the lake. I'm glad we're not at the lake anymore.
Yeah. Well, I know you said this was a good role for Tom Waits, but it really feels rather superfluous. And again, it's a long film. Did they really need this addition? Dr. Heller is a character from the Flaming Carrot. Well beyond.
I would argue yes.
Yeah.
I like it.
I would have cut the lake stuff and like you said, made it a montage, and then move swiftly into this because this is far more interesting.
Yeah.
And also Tom Waits holds the screen. He's doing a lot better job of commanding the screen than our Native American friend did.
He throws out a lot of big, complicated nonsense words, and his dialogue was written on his fingers. So when you see him acting with his hands in front of his face a lot, that's what he's doing. Is he's
crib notes?
Yeah,
That's
reading.
Awesome.
He's reading these, and that's actually something that Paul Rubens told him to do. He came to him and he's like, "Man, like, can you help me out? I'm having a hard time with these, this dialogue. It's like, I don't know about these lines." And Paul Rubens was like, "Just write them on your hands." So.
Speaking of things that could be trimmed out of the movie.
Oh yeah, the romance stuff, not necessary. Not necessary.
No. Any of the other characters could have been doing this role.
Yeah.
Talking to him, about being an outcast and showing his insecurity. All of this could be chopped. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's like the same problem that you have in Ice Pirates. The worst parts of Ice Pirates was any point in the narrative that it held itself in earnest, right?
Mm-hmm.
They tried to get real. Yeah.
And fortunately for this film, it doesn't try to do that very much.
Yeah.
It's just at this point we're starting to really like walk through the mud, and it's getting old. You know, it's
the non-lethal weapons thing I think is good. I think that's good.
Although I don't understand how a tornado in a can is explicitly non-lethal.
No, it's gonna be.
I'm surprised you got the chicken with one
It'll
hand.
be okay.
the chicken with one hand.
Fine.
Yeah, that's impressive. You're right. Chickens are hard to hold on to.
At least
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
What was the flex there? We didn't know it till now.
They don't want to be held.
Spleen screaming. I've had that.
Oh, I like this part. The can tornado. It comes out like a can of biscuits, the way it pops open.
Oh yeah,
It
yeah.
has a twist to it.
Pillsbury TM.
It's good
Oh
to
yeah,
try.
yeah. Like the cinnamon rolls that you twist and
Yeah.
Yeah, and
break
pop
little
them
pieces
out.
off. It's
And
awesome.
he farts when he lands.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
That's what I was talking about. Is how much is too much fart joke. The director
And the way
took
he
that.
talks too, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, please stop with that.
The spitting. The Foley guy put a fart in, and the director told him to take it out, and then asked him to put it back in. Because he's like,
Move it.
Actually,
I
yeah.
thought
All right.
about it, and I do want that fart joke. I do want that fart joke.
Yeah, there's not too many. I don't think we really get there. I love fart jokes. Even, I mean, he even says "pull my finger" specifically more times than it should be enjoyable, but it's
Yeah.
still.
But it's
all right.
always enjoyable.
Yeah.
And here, okay, we've got the flamethrower, and it's like a 4 foot long cannon. And Tom Waits tells us you could get it with a clamshell holster. It's like taller than Janine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There's
stuff-
Tom.
Yeah,
Go Tom.
that's a good Tom face right there. Yeah,
Says.
yeah. Shortcuts. That's what Tom Waits is really good in. Shortcuts. I mean, lots of people are really good in that movie, but yeah, he's great in shortcuts. I almost forgot about that. It's around the same time period.
He's the best Renfield ever too.
Don't diss Dwight Fry in my presence, but
All right, it's debatable. It's fine. I just really like him. You know.
look, we're all friends here. It's good.
It's so
You
bad.
can have
that
an
the
opinion.
romance that
Yeah.
even added the brownstones.
Yeah. They were like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And this reeks a backlot, and it just isn't necessary. I don't like it.
Yeah, the whole romance thing is really gotta go.
Listening to the
These dudes blurry.
yeah.
God.
I love those guys. I love when they fight and they do that hand thing, like, oh my. I was like, that's a good, that's a good guy. Do the hand thing. I cannot dance, okay? It doesn't mean it won't happen, but yeah, it's not going to be pretty. People are always like, oh no, you surely you're going to be good at it, But then they see it, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm sorry."
I have been fighting that my entire life. It doesn't come up that much anymore, but when people tell me, "No, you can dance," I'm like, "No," and I'm not having children either. No, it's not a good idea.
I am the
And
master of the chair dance.
And one leads to the other.
Usually,
Well, in Austin, we just all stand around like this the whole show.
no, we used to do that in Columbus.
Oh yeah. Remember, Columbus is the place where Iggy Pop jumped off the stage at the Newport Music Hall and hit the floor.
No one caught him.
No one caught Iggy Pop.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I don't want to get an infection.
It's actually a thing.
Ew, he's gross.
I've talked to a lot of
You could get staph.
indie bands that have come through Columbus, and Columbus is known for their apathetic audiences. It's a
Yeah.
thing, like on the
Yeah.
circuit. People know about it. People cut their sets short because there's no response.
Ouch. All right. Well, what's good? Yeah, this is.
What's
Mr.
happening
Furious.
in this movie?
This is a
Furious.
protracted.
Yeah.
You can come back on the team thing,
Yeah.
which should just
Oh yeah.
be a lot shorter.
But I'm not gonna say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because I'm so furious. It's like, pretty weak. And
Good job,
we're
Ben.
trying to raise the stakes at this point in the plot. And then
Right.
this happens.
Yeah. They're supposed to be, marching on to certain death.
Yeah.
Like there's not. No one has much faith that these guys can actually defeat, these extremely well armed and, bloodthirsty bad guys.
Yeah, this feels like something from The Outsiders, and it's just like not. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
fitting
really-
into the formula here.
It's
Yeah.
really
Let's
weird.
get back
too,
to this
because-
castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go
Here
there.
we go. Here we
Okay.
go.
This
Well,
is
there's
where it's
the-
at.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the frat boys. The frat boys are
Nice-
led
nice
by
sculpture.
Michael Bay,
Yep.
famous
Yep.
director.
And Ricky
Um,
Rackman.
Yeah, and he apparently when it came time to shoot his one line, he could not be satisfied with any of his takes, and he had a little meltdown. So I would love to see the reel of like Michael Bay doing the same
Yeah,
line
me
over
too.
and over
Oh, yeah.
my
until he
God.
starts losing his fucking temper.
Oh man, yeah, that'd be
I would
precious.
love that.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Do it again. Wait, I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, I'm sure it was him, like insisting that he do it again. Like he's like, no, I want to. Like they're like, look, this is an expensive movie, Michael. We have to move on.
Time is money, buddy.
Hey, does everybody have a drink?
Yeah.
Take another.
Mhm.
I like what Jay said in the chat. This is all the guys that didn't make the cut for the Warriors.
Mhm. Yeah.
No, you're just too ridiculous. Look, baseball furies are fine, but this has
Yeah.
got to go.
Yes, you could take Zabrewski's.
Someone's like, can you dig it?
He actually says, "Can you dig it?"
Oh, that's right, he does.
He says, "Can you dig it?" There's all kinds of like little clips like that, where they
The Goody Mob.
Oh, here's
Yeah.
CeeLo
That's the
Green.
Goody
Green.
Mob. There's
There
CeeLo,
he is.
pre-fame CeeLo.
The Goody Mob actually playing the Goody Mob.
Yes,
The
and
not
yeah,
so goody
the
mob.
not so goody mob is
The good
is how
enough mob.
Casanova. Yeah, when Casanova Frankenstein's talking about them, he refers to him as the not so goody mob, and
Name.
like it's 1999. Like comedies are kind of veering away from the constant racial aggression and microaggressions, but it is a little fucked up that all the
There it
bad
is.
guys. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
It is kind of fucked up that all the bad guys are like, exaggerated versions of things. Except,
Like
Yeah.
this guy.
yeah. Except, yeah,
Terrific.
yeah, except for the goody
The
mob.
frat
you
boys.
know.
is pretty
Yeah,
accurate.
they're like, and they're like, and you guys are just criminals.
Can we
you
bring
know,
the
like,
beers,
yeah,
bro?
Yeah, of course you may bring the brewskis.
This movie is such a mixed bag. Like there's such
Mhm.
great
Yeah.
stuff in it, and it's mixed in with just a way too long runtime. And
Yeah, it needs a fan edit. That's what it needs.
yeah,
Yes.
Mm,
yes,
Yep.
This
Sounds
sounds
like a
Producer
job
said,
for-
We gotta have a romantic subplot.
Oh, speaking of
maybe
which,
my-
like this
maybe
does
my
not
favorite
need
scene-
to happen at all. It's not.
This is
funny.
maybe my favorite scene in the entire
I
film.
like the
right
two
here.
brothers
It
here.
is fun.
This
Yeah.
doesn't need to happen. I love this.
I like
Yeah.
the music after.
Were you just saying that this is your favorite scene in the whole film?
He did.
Yeah,
I
the music.
fucking love this scene. Are you
What
kidding
the
me?
hell, Jeff? What the hell's
This is
matter
the
with
love scene we all deserved.
The skunk is fucking his leg he's humping his leg, and
They stopped
the
the
invisible
movie for
boy
this.
puts his
Yeah,
arm
I
around
can-
him, and he's
They were
like,
humping
"Just
each
go
other's
with it."
legs?
It's a great man. He's
This
like,
guy-
"Just go
Jethro,
with
I
it."
can
I-
hear
you know.
you across the house.
Hang on,
You
hang
have a
on.
lot of enthusiasm for this point.
So the skunk is humping the spleen's leg,
Yeah,
and
the skunk is
Invisible
humping his
Boy
leg,
is just
yeah.
taking in the moon.
I think that
Yeah.
was exactly the moment Axel just went, "This movie is dumb."
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
It,
I'm not saying that isn't.
I'm
dumb.
surprised he lasted this long.
Yeah.
I had to watch
Good
it in
boy.
episodes, like 20 minutes. I was like, okay, all right, try again later.
It took a week for Mandy to watch this movie.
Yeah.
That's why it feels so long.
Yeah. That's not the only reason.
Microdosing on Mystery Men.
Yeah. That was a real skunk, by the way, and they just put some like cat food on his leg. So
Skunks are fine as long as you don't threaten them. They're totally cool. I used to have them in my yard. They're fine.
They're super
They don't want to spray you. They
And
don't.
Jeff would get,
No, they
get them out.
don't. They're nice. I like them.
They're nice. They're like possums. They're fine.
Yeah, you just can't have dogs.
Here we go.
oh, yeah, there's the toggle. There's the he's holding up the washers to
washers.
see if he's
Wait a
wearing
minute.
glasses. Like, could that be him? Could that? Yeah, it's very funny. And then he has an argument about how many times they flipped the switch in order to free him.
Well, Captain
And,
Amazing is unraveling here.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's stuck with this lot to
Yeah.
rescue him. And he's just absolutely losing it.
Yeah.
I do feel
Oh
like I've
my
been in
gosh.
meetings where this has happened, where like communication is just not happening. And I just love that they put it in this movie at this point. It's like, this is very human.
This does feel like a middle management meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it came down to like whether or not a toggle switch was utilized correctly and the world could end, the world would probably end.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a good bit of bickering. Like this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this scene works. There's a little too much in the other shorter scenes. But this works great.
Yeah, but, again, it would work better if it wasn't up against, longer scenes that kind of do similar stuff.
Mhm.
But,
Mhm.
they did it first and they did it for longer. And, goes back to that well too often. But ultimately, they screw the whole thing up. The Blue Raja comes and he gets frustrated and fed up and he flips one of the switches. And this incorporates some really impressive special effects that are
I like this.
combination of computer generated and some modeling as well.
Yeah, this is a really interesting time in filmmaking where
Mhm.
people forget that like the Matrix, when they did bullet time, they did it with analog cameras. It
Mhm.
wasn't, they had like 360 cameras wrapped around somebody, and it was they're just Nikons.
Yeah,
They're just all
yeah.
synchronized, So
Yeah.
you've got good practical and you've got good the beginnings of good CGI.
Yeah. The bowling ball is often CGI as well, but again, the way they use it, you
It
don't
looks
have
okay.
time. Yeah, you don't have time to really analyze it too much. Like it's moving.
Yeah,
real
if I'm going
fast.
to analyze it, I'm going to analyze the fact that it's not going to roll correctly because you don't have just a solid piece of plastic for a bowling ball. It's got
Yeah.
a core, it's got layers, it's off balanced. But we're not going to do that.
No, we don't need to talk about bowling specifics.
Not on this channel.
Not tonight.
It has a core. The core just
Not
happens
yet.
to be a skull.
What's that?
It has a core. The core
Yeah.
is a skull.
Yeah.
I did like the line where
Bill Murray did a hell of a good job with a.
With a rose in his. Don't make me nominate Kingpin. I will.
The only reason I can't nominate it is because I have seen it far too many times in the last
Yeah, that's
10
true.
years.
Yeah.
So something went wrong, and
They
everyone's
killed-
leaving.
I do really like the gag that they kill Captain Amazing.
Yes.
They just kill him.
Yeah.
And
think
then
that
she,
is the funny
she
thing.
checks his pulse and his hand falls off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really
That's all.
don't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's his fault, really, honestly.
Yeah, because he wouldn't get the toggles correct.
But yeah, he just lost his patience and
Vermin should be exterminated.
I love Eddie Izzard.
He's kind of giving Danny McBride in this movie.
Yeah, I kept wondering if
Yeah.
I was the same guy, and then I was like, "It's not that guy." This movie's like 25 years old. What the hell?
Like in a way you would never see Danny McBride.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So it's kind of
I could see him doing that, maybe. You know, I wouldn't put it past him.
he seems to play the same just toxic dude.
Yeah.
Every character he does.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, so here's a pacing thing. Like we
Uh-huh.
had all that long stuff leading up to what was going to be like the big rescue,
hmm
and it falls apart, and then they have to go back to Tom Waits' house. This is bad pacing. Like if the heist is going to fail, we need to get to it a lot sooner.
Yeah, and you know, it's back and forth and it's back and forth, and so now they have to talk themselves into doing it again.
Yeah, I don't object to this scene. It's just that, like, you know, in terms of each chapter, one
Mhm.
after the other, there
Yeah.
was way too much filler before that happened. They should have killed Captain Amazing half an hour ago.
Yeah, they were too busy fucking around in the forest
Sewing.
sewing. They were too busy sewing.
That's why Ben Stiller is so mad.
Mm-hmm. That would have made me mad too.
Oh wait, has he gotten over his like lack of anger yet? I mean, has that
That
been
happened. No, that happens when the girl he has a crush on tells him to just be himself.
Yeah,
So-
he loses the ability to be hostile or
Yeah.
furious or whatever.
But
It's not
hasn't that,
especially
then-
bad
hasn't
writing.
that already happened?
No,
Not yet.
No, they have more than one scene at the townhouse.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
They've got more than
Yeah.
one brownstone scene?
Yeah.
Oh god dang,
Man,
man.
it's no.
Oh,
Bill
Man.
Mason is a perfect
All right.
straight man here.
good night.
I am delivering bad news all night.
You're like a cornucopia of bad news. Way to go, Captain Bummer.
I'm like Santa Claus, but it's all
No.
just cold.
Man, everybody should have come up with their own like offbeat like satire superhero for this
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah. Well, Laura and I once came up with our own fake superheroes because we were in this like superhero run, and I was imitation Crabman. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
and it was like my symbol was just like a crab with a question mark inside it.
I think I would be the finger, and it's just
Yeah.
the finger emoji.
Oh, and Laura, what was yours?
Mine was strawberry short fuse. She's very, very upset.
That's cute.
Clever. Very clever.
Years and years and years ago, we were hanging out and
Mhm.
a friend and we were talking about if we were American gladiators, what our name would be. And our friend Alicia said, Hyman, just try and break me.
Wow.
I'll never forget that. Crack me up.
Mary Hartman.
Yeah. Louise Lasser.
Louise
She's
Lasser
really
played.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
wow.
great, and she plays this role in like a lot of other films. You know, she is. Isn't she Ruben's mom in Ruben and Ed? And she's also
Oh yeah. No more Mahler.
yeah, and she She plays the mom in Frankenhooker. That's right. She's in Frankenhooker.
Oh wow.
Bless
It's
her
another
heart.
classic. Yeah.
I love that one.
So she finds out her son is a superhero and she gives him more forks. It's a beautiful moment.
She's very accepting.
Yeah.
Family heirlooms.
She's very
I've
accepting.
always known you were special, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
I do like
It's-
the little joke where she's like, "I was saving these for your wedding, but
Yeah.
But
That's not going to happen for a long time.
I
Yeah.
like the scene very much. It just
Yeah.
should have came a lot sooner.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all just a metaphor for coming out of the closet, really, and having it. Yeah. It's great.
Did we even watch the same movie?
His mom does know.
Yes.
Yeah, his mom knows.
Yeah.
I'm a fork flinger, mother.
I have no idea what that was on their dresser, that ceramic thing.
Yeah. What the hell was
I
that?
have no idea what that is. So it looks like a cigar ashtray. So maybe whoever was doing set dressing didn't know what a cigar ashtray is, and they were like, "Yeah," and they got one of these, whatever it is.
It
great
was on the
wallpaper,
truck.
though.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty romantic with this bedroom vibe.
Heck yeah.
Where there's a closet, there's Jay Goodwin.
Yes. He found us again.
Do you think he can hear us? I do like that they changed the gels and stuff in his miner's helmet. I noticed that. Like sometimes it's just diffusion, sometimes it's got a color. They put a color in there that matches the bedroom. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the
here it
scene.
is.
Oh,
Here we go
There it
again.
is.
So that's
Don't you have any
she's
fart
gonna
jokes we could be listening to?
she's gonna fuck with his head by accepting him for who he really is
For no reason.
for no
There's
reason.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
For no
reason
reason
at
at
all.
all.
She should
Yeah.
be interested in this guy or give two craps
Yeah.
about
Mhm.
what he's doing or whatever. Like he's not that good looking, honey.
Mhm.
She looks like she's about to go pull a shift as a cigarette girl.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
That's her superpower, maybe. I don't know.
She looks like she's going out on a date. So, like, is he not wondering, like, oh, are you going out tonight? Like, what?
This is her
Okay,
loungewear, and
Yeah.
I do need to point out a really tragic moment of the 1999 eras. She's wearing jeans under that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
I don't think that's tragic. I mean,
You and I need to talk.
we'll have a private call discussion.
I mean, it's not like you're not getting laid. It's nothing like that. Obviously, you got 8 kids or whatever, but no jeans under satin. No, we're not doing that.
He doesn't know how many kids he has.
I really,
This is the Atlantis
I don't
thing.
want to know.
This is the Atlantis thing, and I hate it.
They switch places so he can stand on the step and be the same height as him.
Yeah.
Well, there it is.
I don't know. It's just it's so this
Mr.
movie needs a
Furious.
check in it, and really it could. Okay, cut her out of this whole thing and make it
Okay.
Janine Garofalo instead.
Yeah.
There, you've just saved 20 minutes.
Right.
In
Right.
Like
Yeah. They could have had Janine. Didn't even have to be a romance. They could have had Janine Garofalo break him.
yeah,
Yeah. Just conversationally.
yeah.
Yeah.
There could be like very subtle undertones of romance possibly that never happen or whatever. But
Yeah.
but have her break him. I mean, I don't mean that in a woke way, but
Yeah. Or have her break him like a horse. Like peg him.
that I would watch.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be a little better of a movie, really.
Very different movie.
A slightly different movie. They could have had the junket lady break him.
Oh, no! Stop it! What is wrong with you? I'm
Anyone
muting
else?
you. Wait, oh wait, this isn't my show. God.
There is
You and
occasion-
Stupenzo, buddy. You and
I have I have been muted on B-sides before.
It's the
Me.
next inevitable phase.
I've knocked you off the screen before.
Me. All right, so then they go back and they build the gun magnet they don't actually need.
No,
and
not if
just
the
load
Sphinx
up.
is with them. No, they
Yeah,
aren't.
the Sphinx comes with them, but then he just kind of disappears in all the action.
Yeah, he just hangs
Yeah,
out.
he just doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't really do anything.
So
Yeah, all of this could just be so much more condensed. I mean,
yeah.
I say you keep the Herkimer Battle Jitney and you lose the Sphinx.
yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We should have built this bus a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. But finally, here are those costumes that I'm being led to believe they are responsible for.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
You know, we get our Buckaroo Banzai hero team shot there.
Mhm.
A little stagey, but okay.
Yeah. And when they bust through, one of the complaints the director had about the special effects team, they use way too much sparks, and you could barely even see the thing busting through the wall. And that's a one-take thing, so
Sure. Yeah.
you know, that's it. It just bursts into a world of sparks, and you can't even see the Herkimer. You can't even
yeah.
see it. Yeah. Viacon Diaz was ad-libbed. Kinka Usher asked Tom Waits to say something. So he came up with Viacon Diaz. It's a good line.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's a little hasta la vista, but yeah. Okay.
You're abrasive and off-putting.
Ouch, that's rough.
You dress in the manner of a male prostitute.
Yeah.
Your penmanship is atrocious.
That's probably the best line from the Sphinx.
Yeah. Probably. I love this bus though. I just love it. I love the concept. I love the way love the art department as usual.
Well,
I love that it's called a Herkimer Battle Jitney.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows the word jitney anymore? That's awesome.
Yeah, they pull out some old fun stuff.
Yeah, it helps the timelessness.
Yeah, they smash through the gate. There's no reason for the gate to emit that many
Oh,
sparks.
that's a lot. Maybe it's electrified. I don't know.
That's what I assumed.
Somebody,
Yeah. Right. Right. I had a charge on it.
This is different physics, different world.
yeah,
That's right. It's super world. It's,
yeah. The
everything
super
is
world.
super.
See, and then look, you can't even see the Herkimer.
Yeah,
You can't see
not
it.
even
No.
in like slow motion.
Yeah. You know, that shot, there's too much dust.
That's the back end. You
Yeah.
don't care about that. There you
Yeah.
go.
Hey,
Well, that's-
pretty good.
That's post crash in.
Looks like Optimus
Yeah.
Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps making the gate out of magnesium and thermite wasn't the best choice. We thought we were secure.
I'm a publicist, not a, I don't know, foreman.
Not an elevator, damn it.
Okay, so now we get the payoff with the magnet.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. We're not sure what the. Somebody wake up Sphinx.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I also don't understand why it doesn't wreak havoc for everyone, because
Including the Blue Raja.
He's wearing a metal helmet. Yes, he has to throw forks in this environment. Like what? You know.
Well, they're insulated from the effects inside of the
I'll buy that.
Those are silver forks. They're non-magnetic.
Oh, look at you with the lore.
Here he is.
Interesting.
Here,
Oh, it's canon now.
He's a wizard.
wizard to the
Great-grandmother
rescue.
Silver.
Mm.
Some Walter White shit right there, man.
I shall
So here's
defer to
another
your
one.
alchemy.
Why
What I
doesn't
do,
he
I get
put-
high and I solve things.
Why would you put the control to the laser eye outside of the room? Like, that really
Yeah.
bothered me.
Yeah.
The
How is
script
anyone
demands
going to reach that control there? Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
it. Yeah, this is all pretty clunky.
And like, I love the Invisible Boy's moment
Mm-hmm.
that he finally shows that like he does have this power and he, allows the movie to go on. And again, for some inexplicable reason, being invisible means he loses his clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my thing too. I'm like, oh,
Like, I don't.
For
where
the
did they
punchline.
go?
Yeah, that was just to have the naked joke gag. That was
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
Why does he need a
Yeah.
costume? Like
Yeah.
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 Well, you got to wear something until you become naked.
yeah, it could be anything. He could be wearing like a brocade mini skirt over a pair of jeans. Whatever.
Well, this is what he chose.
Mhm.
Then you don't fit in with the team.
Yeah. I like how Mr. Furious is really checking him out, though.
You shouldn't compare yourself to others.
Yeah.
I forget what the girl team is called.
The furriers.
Furriers.
Yeah.
Furriers. Yeah. But
And
they
what
have furry nunchucks. That's fun.
Yeah, that's right. We're in a
And-
pre-furry environment here. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
it's a
has
different thing now.
So they shrink them, and then the dudes in the hero group, like half of them are really checking out the shrunken women, which I thought was
Yeah.
strange.
it's their
They
clothes.
shrink their
only
clothes.
It's only their clothes. that
It's only
shrink.
their clothes. Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like a
it's the-
dry cleaning gun. So there's
Oh.
clothes.
This is Martinizing.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Well, that makes more sense, but it's still awkward.
It is still a little awkward.
It could definitely have been better.
Yeah. Yep. Here's CeeLo. The Goody Mob wrote a song for Mystery Men, but they kept talking like apparently the tone and the subject matter was all wrong because they were talking about chickens and robbing or stealing chickens or something. So the song they wrote for Mystery Men was not used for the film. Which is weird to have, like musical special guests, but no song from them.
Yeah, there was a featured song on this movie. There's the same song they used on Shrek, which also came out this year, or close to it.
Shrek came out a couple years later, but
Are you
yeah,
sure?
they used the
Okay.
Smash. They used
Smash
the
Mouth, that's
Smash
what it is.
Mouth and stuff
Yeah.
like that. We already talked about.
We already
Smash
talked
Mouth.
about that.
We don't want to talk about Smash Mouth anymore.
I mean, we can, but I will become.
Yeah, we're gonna hear it one more time in the movie.
I will
Yeah.
become Mr. Rage.
I'm not going to hear it. The rest of you can do whatever you want.
No. William H. Macy practiced with the shovel a lot and clocked himself at one point.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Practicing with it. But he got good with it. He's had like a stunt guy teaching him stuff with it. And then after the film was complete, he could still find himself, he couldn't hold a shovel without playing with it a little bit.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, God gave
Yeah.
him a gift.
So you just instinctively twirl a little bit. I do like that these guys are back together again. They already had a wonderful skunk humping his foot moment, and now he gets shot in the ass. Oh, man.
Which is delicious irony.
Yeah. The ironing is delicious. And
There's
Eddie
Dad.
Eddie Izzard's character is the one that killed the original bowler, her father. So
Another payoff there.
That's right,
Yeah.
because I'm a killer.
I am a killer.
you don't have the guts to kill me. And of course, the bowling ball does exactly that. We've all had it with your terrible American accent. And away with you. Disco is dead.
Oh, thank you for highlighting that.
Yes. Great. You can't mention cake farting around me without me bringing it up again.
Moving on.
Mm-hmm. They had a giant finger rig. It only shows up for a second, so I don't know if we're going to get a slide of this like huge
The giant finger.
Yeah, the giant finger that they rigged under the camera. It's a fun little sight gag, and
do enjoy that. It's kind of like a Sam Raimi thing.
Yeah, and
They also used it in Lord of the Rings.
This part got me. He's got her by the coke nail.
Yes. Excellent. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get cut by his coke nail.
No.
Once again,
You
you're
have
going to get
instant
an
numbing
infection.
effects, though.
Yeah.
It's a
See,
great,
you wouldn't
great
feel
knuckle
it.
biting.
I didn't feel a thing.
I like that part where the Blue Raja throws the forks to great handholds.
I like that.
Yeah.
He also uses what the Sphinx taught him about people not being able to see, or like like I said, it's a payoff from the forest stuff, but why? We don't really.
It ain't worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, that's
Not
what
worth
she's
it.
saying. Look at her. She's like, no, it ain't worth it.
Discussions are getting really intense.
So yeah, we're fighting, and
Yeah, he actually has rage suddenly.
Oh, he's throwing up.
don't touch any toggles.
His superpower is he can act.
Yeah, here he is. Rage really taking over. Okay.
All right. That's a nice shot.
Oh my God. Jeffrey Rush really needs to do comedy more. Well, I mean, he might be a little old now. I don't know. He should have done more comedy. He had
Barbosa was peak.
Yeah.
Hey, did you guys ever see Quills? Which starred Jeffrey Rush. You ought to watch Quills. Jeffrey Rush and Kate Winslet.
Is that the Marquis de Sade?
Yes. It's the
Yes,
Marquis de Sade
I have
movie.
seen that movie.
Directed by Philip Kaufman.
Yeah.
Dude, Jeffrey Rush is bananas good in that.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I mean, rips it up.
Honestly, I think that might be the first thing I ever saw him in.
I love this statue.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird anthropomorphic stuff happening in the architecture and the design of these rooms.
Kind
Like the vertebrae you see there on the balcony, that's a weird choice.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, the director made sure you knew that this was. He was very influenced by Gaudi on the director's commentary. He brought that up over and over.
Okay, so here we're getting to the reshoot ending.
Right. Yes, where they decide instead of a can of tornado that they throw into the thing, test audiences love the bowler.
These are all doubles.
They like Dead Dad better.
Oh.
Yeah.
So did they, in the final cut of the film, then did they ever use the can of tornado?
No.
They shot that ending, but yeah, you're right. You only
They never use it.
Yeah.
You're seeing doubles here dressed as the rest of the team, and they only got Janine Garofalo back for the reshoot. So everyone else is too busy.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. And they didn't really need them. That is how it ended. They do a group hug, and
Yeah.
they move over so that Janine Garofalo can throw the tornado down there. So they just went back and shot the same scene, but this time with the bowling ball. So
Yeah, which does make a little better sense.
yeah, I mean, what's a few more $1 million at this point?
I mean, the sunk cost fallacy here is strong.
And they never actually decide on a name for the team. The anchor lady refers to them as mystery men.
And the Sphinx is back for some reason.
Yeah, and the Sphinx is like, hey, I'll take credit.
What
I
were you
wanted to
doing?
point out another fun thing that I picked up on Reddit. So the shoveler has this really cute little dachshund that's in a couple scenes. Dachshunds are like, they're tunnelers.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a little dog version of the shoveler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why she likes
they
them.
shovel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they shovel
Shoveling
well.
dogs.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was very charmed by that little observation.
Test groups are never wrong, Jay.
Yeah.
Cinema has proved this over and over again.
And they love David Cronenberg. Test groups always love David Cronenberg.
He's a draw.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody would give David Cronenberg $200 million to make a movie.
Yeah.
Anybody.
No alliteration.
All right. Well,
And then we hear Smash Mouth
then
again.
we hear Smash
Yeah.
Mouth some
Mouth is back.
more. Get paid. Break the mold. Thank you very
I
much.
fucking hate that song.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh,
Has definitely been overplayed.
it is
Yeah.
unbearable.
Overplayed.
Yeah, I do want to say a very special thank you to Adam for filling in the producer's shoes for this
okay.
episode by preparing our slides for us.
I'm very sorry that the subtitles get a little chopped off. I don't know what happened there, but computers, what are you gonna do?
We all seem to remember our favorite lines anyway.
It's not that long of a list.
Yeah.
Yeah, the script is not the superhero of this superhero film.
No. Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay, so I can put you backstage whenever I want. Yeah, I'd love to hear anything anyone wants to add to what we've talked about before we start voting. But
I feel like
in
this
reality,
is
I'm pretty much
one of our
ready to
best
vote.
breakdowns so far.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like everyone came in with their homework done and had lots of opinions.
I think it's
Yeah.
voting time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I second that because it's also very much bedtime.
Yeah. Okay. Well, well, you know, when it's a 2-hour movie, then you got you do have a lot of slides. All right. Well, we're going to start our voting with Adam.
Oh.
Adam, who wanted to know how he would feel about Mystery
And I
Men.
wanted to know how the rest of you would feel about
Yeah.
Mystery Men because it doesn't matter a fuck to me. I enjoyed the rewatch.
Let me just interrupt you just real quick because I keep forgetting to do this. What we're looking for when you vote.
The rules.
Yes, what we're looking for when you vote, it's not necessarily did you like this movie or not? Would you recommend this movie to someone or not? It's whether or not you would tell someone who loved this movie in their youth to check it out again. You know, when I was a kid or decades ago, I saw Mystery Men. I liked it, but I don't know if I, should tarnish that memory, that fondness by checking it out and then finding out that all these jokes are racist or boy, this is extremely dull or
not racist enough.
Or it's not race, I didn't realize there was all this product placement, and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay, so
we got a vote. We have a vote from the audience, but yes, we'll start with Adam, who picked it. So
I did pick it. Barbara gave me a great pile of suggestions because I'm terrible at doing homework, but this one popped out, and it is absolutely worth a rewatch. In like the 65 percentile. If someone asked me, I remember watching that movie, Smash Mouth. I'd say, yeah, go ahead, rewatch it. I'm not going to give it 5 stars or a 10 out of 10 or anything like that. I liked it, and just like the Wizard, I've been carrying around this discount DVD for 20 years and never really sat down with it. But I enjoyed it, and I thought it was fun to show it to my wife. So I'm going to go yes. This is a recommend, and salvage that jitney, junk it.
Sweet. All right. Well, you know what? Let's just move on to your wife then. Like, I want to know what Barbara has to say about
one
this.
at a time, guys. One at a time.
One of your wives, you know. Like,
I did like this movie. I thought it was kind of charming. There's a lot of things wrong with it, script wise, pacing wise, but honestly, it is kind of a charming little movie. I think William Macy is just the big selling point for me in this film, because I think he's really wonderful. His portrayal is heartwarming and thoughtful and loving, and he portrays himself as that.
He's
he
not just a great straight man, but also very charming and very believable as a loving father who has a dream.
Yeah. And I thought it was a good movie. So, as somebody who would say, do you recommend it? I would go, yeah, it's not going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen, but it's fine. If you got, if you're kicking around the TV one night and it happens to be on, give it a watch. There you go. So, yeah, I'd recommend it.
All right, we've got two yes votes. I don't know what order to go in. I do really want to hear from Mandy though. The question. What do you think?
The question is, would I recommend it to somebody?
Yeah,
if rewatch.
As
somebody
a rewatch.
that used to love it, but they haven't seen it in a long time,
or they just used to they've seen it before. Should they go back?
Yeah,
I would say no. I'm gonna do the first no. I can appreciate the cast. That never happened again. It didn't happen before that. That was very interesting. I'm glad they had that experience, but it was hard to watch. I couldn't really follow it. I wasn't very interested in it. It had its moments, but as a whole, not easy to watch.
Just too dull.
No, I mean, I love silly and outlandish stuff, but yeah, it was just hard to follow. It didn't have a good rhythm to it. It was a bit confusing and
quick question.
At times. It just didn't keep my interest.
Are you in the pro Ben Stiller camp or the anti Ben Stiller camp?
I mean, then I was not into him. Now he's all right. I really liked Meet the Parents and Tropic Thunder. What is that movie called? I mean, I wasn't a fan of that movie, but it was. Yeah.
Tropic Thunder wasn't bad.
I think Tropic Thunder is funny, man. I think
it was a huge moment, like for comedy, for sure. Yeah. So I respect that. But not this one.
Not this one. Not this one. No, and I think I think its bizarre pace is probably due to just too many cooks, and too much writing on the set.
So. Yeah, it smells like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll move on to I know Gravy, you might not be able to stay up too much later, so we can get to you now if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm this is a tough one for me
Mhm.
there are so many little things about this movie that I really like. You know, there's a lot of things that make me want to give it a yes vote, but ultimately, like, I think I would definitely give this thing a yes if it was like 25 minutes shorter. I
Mhm.
mean, seriously, like it's that
Agreed.
bad. Like, I mean, it's 2 hours and 5 minutes, and a lot of that is like improvised fluff, bickering that's not entertaining, a lot of missed jokes. Um, there is a lot of unevenness in this film. Big, like, you know, it feels really big and weird, and then it's small, and then it's kind of big again, and then yeah, I'm gonna give it a no.
Mhm.
And I think I can blame Axel because I was watching it with him, and he just thought it was terrible. And you know,
If we ever
kids
need,
don't lie. Yeah, kids
kids don't lie.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Well, I mean, if we ever need a tiebreaker from a 15-year-old, you know, like we're definitely consulting Axel. You know,
Yeah.
he's got
well, I will say this.
He's got a sharp eye, that kid.
He's a tough viewer to please. I'll tell you that. Like,
Oh, yeah?
I wouldn't want my movie judged by that kid. He's kind of a prick.
Got high standards.
I mean that in a loving way, you know. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's only half your fault.
yeah. No, but yeah, I'm gonna say no on this one just because it's like, you know, I mean, like it's like if Ice Pirates was 20 minutes longer than it was, it'd be a no for Ice Pirates.
Yeah,
For
gotcha.
sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ice Pirates is pushing it, you know.
Real hard.
Yeah,
Well,
totally. You know.
You're
And,
fairly split on that one, so yes, you're
Yeah.
right. Like, you know,
exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I almost gave Ice Pirates a no too because there was some things about Ice Pirates I was like, yeah, oh, you know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think, you know, and a lot of it too, maybe it's just I don't have a personal connection with this movie. This is the first time I watched it the whole way through. I'd actually seen parts of it before and thought, you know, I do love the diner though. Like I said, things I do like in this movie, but altogether, got to go down.
Yeah, set design is really
Really cool.
Yeah, I can't say enough
really
about the art direction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, art direction is fantastic, 100% on point.
All right. Well, I'm realizing I'm almost sticking the Wizard last, so I'm not going to do it. Wizard, you go next. Keep sticking the poor Wizard last.
I don't mind being last. So if you saw this movie when you were younger and you're wondering if you should revisit this movie, I'm going to give it a big thumbs up.
Mhm.
In fact,
Yay!
having that experience myself this time, I liked it more on a rewatch than I remembered liking it. Yeah, there's a couple of times I checked out,
Yeah.
but there's enough. There's enough there
Yeah.
that I think if you liked it before, come back.
Who
Come
said
back.
that this needed a fan edit? Because that is
Yeah.
100% on point.
Yeah.
Whoever said that.
Oh yeah, if the fan edit would be a good thing for this movie.
Fan edit, couple of reshoots.
Well, I don't think there's ever going to be a sequel.
Although
They've remade worse movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
wanted to be one.
True. It's true.
They've mostly said, "I'd love to do that again."
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people had fun on the set of this. You know, it was hard work. There's a lot of like costumes and action and stuff, but and also accidentally hitting yourself in the head with the shovel. Another little tidbit from William H. Macy is that any time he would drop the shovel on set, it made a horrible and extremely loud sound, and like all eyes would be on him, you know, and the sound guys would be like, "Hey, Bill, can you just not practice for a little while because you're killing us every time you drop that shot."
I can just see the sound guy bleeding from the ears.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what Pumpkinhead has to say here.
So I'm going to give it a thumbs up with the caveat that I think you really need to know your like silliness tolerance. I can definitely see Axel's point that like, yeah, like this movie's kind of dumb. So I think that is something that I wouldn't give a blanket recommendation to just anyone. I do think that if you saw this when it came out, that means you were probably a youngish person in the 90s. And I think that that is another thing that it has going for it. Like it carries this little bit of nostalgia with the cast and just the way it looks and its sort of like wackiness. So I think that makes it more enjoyable if you're just like of a certain like generation or age. And now, like there was, I think we mentioned this, there was this huge campaign around this movie. There was all this hype, which I feel like may have contributed to some of the feelings of disappointment that I and others may have had when we saw it in the theater. But that, I mean, now, like I was talking to my friend Vanessa the other day, she's like, I've never heard of this movie. Like we both graduated the same year. How were you unaware of this movie?
Right. Right. Yeah. They advertised the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird because I don't remember any of the hype just because of where I was in my life and the other stuff that I was doing. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I believe it, but I didn't see it.
Well, I think that the absence of that also is adds to my argument about I'm losing my words. That helps me give it a thumbs up if you heard it before, or if you are okay with a good bit of zaniness and you've never seen it, then
it like benefits from a softer introduction, like rather than like, oh, this movie's a big deal. It's like, oh, here's a
there's a kooky little film.
Yeah,
there's not enough. Yeah, there's not enough meat in this movie to be beat over the head by promotional stuff. Not at all.
Yeah. That's probably a lot of like what killed its box office. There's nothing worse than having a lot of people go see your movie on the first day and be like, nah.
Yeah. Although I would love to have a Tom Waits toy from a McDonald's Happy Meal. That would be fun,
Did that happen?
No, but but it would have been awesome. It would have been awesome.
It would have.
Did you have a little keychain tornado in a can or a flamethrower?
Yeah, that could have had. That's got potential.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna vote, and I do really have to say, like, good points about how like slow this movie is, how too long it is. That it just its problems are like real big problems, and it's not like laugh out loud funny, hardly at all. Some of the chuckles though are very, very good, and I think that I would say yes, go ahead and check out Mystery Men again. Go ahead and rewatch it. I bet there is, some of this stuff was like real endearing, for some folks. They're goofy characters, and there is definitely 90s nostalgia where like stuff was like just kind of weird. I mean, it's like the land of Ren and Stimpy and Liquid Television, and I do have to say that it was like, even though it's not that good of a movie, it was actually a little bit ahead of its time. Like it kind of like saw like where superhero movies were going, and it was like, well, we'll make fun of that way too in advance.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Right.
but who knows? Like, you know, it's kind of taken. You know, Batman was already revving up and everything. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
like
I
the-
think
it's
the
like-
writing was on the wall at that point.
It's
you know.
kind of tough for me to actually like really clearly remember that era,
Mhm.
that moment. Like, you know,
Yeah.
everything that we mentioned or compared it to, like Batman or anything like that. It's like I don't have like a clear sense of the media landscape, if
Mhm.
I may.
Yeah.
I
It was
wonder
a weird-
why, Adam. I
it was
wonder
a weird-
why.
Weird time for me. I had a lot going on the stove, man. A lot going on.
A lot of vodka
Yeah.
in the fridge. You know.
Placing it in context, you know, I think is a big thing. If you haven't seen it when you were younger, maybe skip it. But yeah. My vote is still a yes on the recall.
Yeah. I don't think I would recommend it as much to somebody seeing it for the first time.
No.
If you're
No.
a Paul Rubens completist, and
Oh, you got to watch it if you're a
you
Paul
have to
Rubens
watch it if you're
completist,
a Paul
absolutely,
Rubens
yeah.
completist.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
You know.
Hey, I gotta go. Good night.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Bye, Gravy.
Good
Bye.
night, Gravy, and thank you for joining us. Okay, well, we did get we got a yes out of this one. So that's the official word here from us here at Total Recall. Go ahead and check it out. Gosh, who is picking now? What was the order? Where have we gone
I
here?
don't know. I just know that I skipped my turn for like a month.
Yeah, like Laura's at like yes, it's Bride of Pumpkinhead's turn because Barbara picked Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yeah.
And we did Space Invaders before that. Oh yes.
What are the rules for picking? Are there any?
Not really. Like it would be nice for you to pick something that you were familiar with, and haven't been, revisiting. For example,
the evolution of the rules has generally come to 3 options, I think, on every pick.
Yeah. Well, 3 to 4, but yeah,
But that's not a
yeah.
requirement. If you
Yeah.
got
No.
what
No.
you really want to revisit,
So the
Yeah.
person picks
Make us
3 and then
revisit.
everybody votes.
Yeah.
Roughly,
Like
very
we kind
loosely.
of talk, vote. Yeah.
Yeah, Gravy
Yeah.
dipped out before he had to pick something.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't
Well,
Ice
no, he
Pirates
picked-
his?
He picked Ice Pirates.
yeah,
He did.
picked
Picked
Ice
Ice
Pirates.
Pirates.
He
So
did.
we did. So I do believe. I mean, it is also Empress Buttercup's turn, but I'd rather be talking with her about it than just take her suggestions from the comments there. So we miss you. We miss you, Buttercup.
I
miss
think it's
you.
on Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that too. So,
All right, cool. Well, I've been keeping a list.
ooh, I know you like lists.
You know it, baby. There are no like real groupings. So a couple of movies that I watched a lot when I was a kid and haven't revisited since. We've got Steel Magnolias. I don't know why I was watching that as a kid over and over, but I was.
I think that's a common occurrence. I think a lot of people. Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me.
Yes.
You can sit here.
This is the place for that. Also, the movie Parenthood with Steve Martin, another like big ensemble cast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you know what? I haven't thought about that in a while, but that was like a movie you watched like kind of with family gatherings and stuff. Like I do remember it being really popular and like
You know,
definitely
it's
seeing it with the family. Yeah.
it's funny because I was talking on Luke's show about The Jerk, and I said there's two things that Steve Martin does really, really well. One is play that sort of bumbling idiot who thinks he's smarter than the rest of the people, or more smarter than he actually is. And the second is the slow burn
Yeah.
into explosion. And when I said that, I was specifically thinking about Parenthood.
oh wow.
So that's funny that you mentioned it.
Wow.
I have
that
not
is
seen
funny.
either of those.
Well,
I have
Is that
seen
good?
both of
Should
them.
I-
Yeah. Oh no,
want me to
if
do
you
a
got a
trio?
third one, yeah, if you
You
got a
keep
third
rolling.
one, let's hear part 3. Yeah.
I really want to watch this movie again. It does not have to be in this space. Cool Runnings.
Oh shit! I
Cool
used to have
Runnings.
Oh my God.
all the time.
Oh,
Station.
Cool Runnings. We got Steel Magnolias, Parenthood, and
If I could influence things in any way, allow me
Yeah.
to push Cool Runnings out there. I've never seen it. I've always wanted to, and
all right.
Maybe we
First
do a
vote,
side
Cool
quest.
Runnings. Yeah.
I will step up.
I'm not against Cool Runnings, I guess, because it's true. I've never seen it either. I know it was popular. I know like it was kind of like a more of a runaway hit than people would have thought. But yeah, they're all three of those are tempting. Like I'm kind of gravitating naturally towards Parenthood because
Yeah,
I
same.
remember loving it, and I've definitely. I mean, I haven't touched it. Like I have no idea
Yeah.
why I loved it so much. I remember is that when he's like the kid's having a meltdown at the arcade, and he's like,
Uh-huh.
"Well, they're bad dudes. That's what they do."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have Buttercup's vote for Steel Magnolias. I think that was the Dolly Parton that put it over the top there. Anyone in our comment section could tell us what you think.
There is
as well.
never anything
Yeah.
wrong with Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no,
true.
she can do no wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lean into Parenthood. I haven't seen Parenthood. I haven't seen all 3 movies. I'm just gonna admit my prejudice against Cool Runnings. I think I'm gonna absolutely
Fair.
hate it.
It's like about sports.
But that's not a reason not to do it.
Maybe you won't. Maybe you won't.
That makes me go.
I can't smoke that much weed anymore, dude. I can't. I am also interested in Steel Magnolias, but
I can.
no, that was Sly's fault. That was not Dolly's fault, Jay. You stop it. So a loose vote for a Parenthood.
Okay. What do you think, Mandy?
What are the votes at right now?
We have 1 for Cool Runnings. We have, I think, 3 for Parenthood. 1 for Steel Magnolias.
What did you pick,
So,
Laura?
yeah.
Does Laura
Those
get to
were-
pick too? Okay,
Yeah,
you
she
just
gets
give
to
the
pick.
option.
Those are all my picks.
Yeah.
Okay, but top pick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. I'm kind of leaning towards Parenthood because
Mhm.
I don't remember it, and I really like
Mhm.
Steve Martin in that era.
Mhm.
But after seeing Mystery Men, it would be nice to have a female cast. So I'm gonna go with
Mhm.
Steel Magnolias.
Steel
Oh, that's
Magnolias. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. And honestly, yeah, I could go either way. I feel like when I was a kid, I probably had warmer feelings towards Parenthood.
The chat is drifting towards Rhinestone. I know that wasn't a nomination. I would also second Rhinestone.
I've never seen that. That's funny. Yeah, that'd be
But
funny.
It's up to Pumpkinhead.
It's, you know what? That is a movie I watched when I was a kid. I've never revisited. I just remember the song about Frankenstein, which I recently learned Dolly Parton considers the weirdest film she ever wrote. So yeah.
What was it? Casanova Frankenstein?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it sounds like we probably that Cool Runnings is not going to make it. So
Cool
It
Runnings
does seem
is
that
not
way. It
Yeah,
does seem that
yeah.
way. And that's fine.
Yeah, Wizard, do you have something you're leaning to?
I would honestly rather see Steel Magnolias. As much as
Yeah.
I know I'm going to enjoy Parenthood again,
Mhm.
and Steve Martin
Yeah.
is awesome. I think Steel Magnolias would be a welcome diversion into a different world
Mhm.
than where we
Agreed.
have been lately.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I have not gone back and revisited Steel Magnolias because I didn't want to have a full tilt ugly cry again.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
There's that. It's a
Is that going to happen to me?
There's an ugly cry in this
Yeah.
movie?
Sally
That's a
Field's
full-
monologue
Possibly.
is so good.
Full tilt ugly
We
cry.
have ugly cry at home.
You're
Yeah,
never on
but-
camera. We won't see it.
But the ugly cry
My
at
wife
home.
will.
The ugly cry at home has Ernest P. Worrell in it, though.
As usual.
You need to go out and get good ugly cry every once in a while.
There's no
Spoilers.
problem for me because I cry all the goddamn time.
Yeah, it's true.
Me too.
It's
Me
true.
too.
I have seen many a movie with Mick, and like at this point, I'm like, if I feel just a little bit of a tingle here, I know this man next to me is crying. I'm positive.
Oh yeah.
I'm emotionally unstable. I'm an easy target for crying.
And,
Yeah.
I cry equally when sad things happen and when things that make me really, really happy happen.
Yeah, he was with me when I saw Coco D Coco Da. Like that was in the wake of my mom passing away, and like we thought it was gonna be this like Swedish horror film about crazy people in the forest terrorizing a vacationing family, and then it actually it turns out that it's actually about how the cycle of like grief is inescapable in the wake of losing a family member. In the case of this film, a couple loses their daughter, but and it's all told in like kind of like visual metaphors and stuff. So I'm watching it and I'm starting to cry, and I'm like, wait a minute, am I just crying because this movie kind of reminded me of my mom? Because it's a weird movie. I don't know if it's really this powerful. And I look over at Mick and I'm like, oh, thank God.
Tears streaming.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. That movie.
No,
is
we went
brutal.
like it's weird. I mean, the movie's brutal and it is like it's a tough watch, but it's also very strange and abstract. So
Surreal.
Barbara and I
surreal,
cried furiously at Godzilla -1.
Oh,
Like,
God.
we
Yeah.
were just drenched in tears.
Healthy.
And we weren't the only ones in the
We
audience.
weren't the only ones either.
All right. So it sounds like Ugly Cry Be Damned. We are going to do Steel Magnolias. So that is
Seconded. Yeah, all right.
That is good.
Get the
Good
big hair.
news. Yeah. Good
I think
news
we could
for,
use a different flavor on the show just to mix things up.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like we really do. I mean, Kroll. One of the things we talked about after watching Kroll is how there's two female characters that share a name. And that's like it,
And that's all you get, honey.
That's all you get. They didn't they failed the Bechdel test with flying colors, They were like they thought they were supposed to ace it,
All right, Steel Magnolias it is.
Victoria.
Is it watch night on Wednesday?
Well, we are traveling on Wednesday, so
Okay.
I think that you guys can have a watch night. It's just not going to include me and Laura, because I think we're going to have to be.
But I want to see
I
you
don't know
ugly
where
cry.
I'm
Is,
Uh,
I have no objections if a Tuesday works better.
I
Tuesday's
probably could. Yeah, I could do a Tuesday.
fine.
Can y'all
Yeah,
do Tuesday night?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
do Tuesday.
That's fine.
Definitely.
Make
I
it
mean,
happen,
I
guys.
like. If I'm going to be crying at a movie, I do want the wizard to be with me. Like
It would feel wrong otherwise.
that's yeah. I we joke about this all the time, but it was at a Fantastic Fest that we saw Love and Peace, which is like a punk rock musical about
So good.
Santa Claus in a sewer and a kaiju turtle.
Why have I
Um,
not seen this?
It is.
Oh,
It's
dude,
on the
dude.
Plex.
Adam,
It's on the
it
Plex.
On
is-
the Plex, you got to watch it. Fucking
And-
amazing.
And
So
I got
good.
and I have to tell you, I cried over that turtle. I cried over that turtle.
I know you have
The
a close.
wizard fucking sobbed.
Oh
I
God,
know-
yeah, I was making noise. It was.
I know that Jethro has a very close relationship with camera, so I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
That's
there.
right. That's right. That turtle touched me.
Now I want to hear
Yeah.
what everybody ugly cried to. Mine was the shoe in Roger Rabbit. I couldn't handle that.
That was
Yeah.
rough.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
shoe.
that's.
It was
That's
definitely
That
disturbing.
shoe was like every dog ever.
Yeah.
Oh God.
People always point out the never-ending story, how upset the kid gets over the horse,
The
and everyone
horse.
was like, "Oh my God, the horse!" For me, the never-ending story was the giant rock dude who you met with some quirky friends, but then you re-meet him, and like because he's so large and heavy, he still hasn't been destroyed by the nothing yet, but his friends have been. And he laments not being able to hold on to him, even though he has big, strong hands. And like that part tears me up, man. That is, to me, that is the moment, the nightmare child emotional moment in Neverending Story. It says something about that movie, though, that it has more than one. It has more than two. I mean, it's it's a rough watch for children.
It doesn't seem like it's for children.
Like a lot of children's movies in the 80s.
Yeah, like Watership
The teen
Down, like
Watership Down for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
appreciate darkness in children's material. I mean,
Yeah,
It prepares you.
it's very much like Grimm's fairy tales. All these Disney films that were made from like legendary Grimm's fairy tale sort of thing. They're all the original source materials. Very dark.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
dark.
yeah. This, I mean, Mystery Men could have been a rated R movie if they had stayed true to the source. These guys would have been killing these bad guys.
I
It
remember
already been
seeing
done. Yeah.
Bambi in the theater in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck, Grandpa? That's not cool.
Yeah. Well, does anyone have, before we all retreat to the green room to carry on this nonsense a little longer, we know that B-sides taking place this Friday, as always, as every
As always, sliding in sideways, skidding, careening out of control.
Friday.
We'll have a movie, I promise you that. 6 p.m. Pacific time every Friday night.
Yep.
Let's just pretend the link is in the description. I don't know.
It's
Barbara will be there. Jethro will be there. Our friend in the
Yeah.
chat, Jay Goodwin, and many others will appear. So
Yes.
please join us. I think we're going to do something black and white this week. That's what
oh
I'm
fun.
feeling.
Yeah.
All right.
We had an excessive color last week.
We had a long run of
Yeah.
movies
And-
from this century. Yes.
Yeah, and I know, Wizard, Pumpkinhead, Mandy, we all pretty much only do this. But do you guys have any live streaming coming up outside of B-sides you want to pitch or talk about? Anything?
Barbara, do you have
No.
anything else
Yeah.
scheduled?
No.
Okay.
I did Luke's, which is I think is Northern English Bastards breakdown of The Jerk with Steve Martin. I think he's got that up and posted. That was
Okay,
the last
great.
one
Next week, a week from today, I think Jay Goodwin is going to be there. We're going to do Fire and Ice, the Ralph Bakshi Frazetta movie on
Wow.
Jay Diabolical Souls channel, and there has been a concerted effort to get in touch with Mr. Bakshi. That's all I can tell you.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. That would be great, man.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, look for Jay Diabolical Souls.
Yeah, even if you could just get him into the comment section so he could complain,
I'd like to listen to it. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Maybe he
All
can
right.
sell us off some old animation cells to keep his habit going. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to, I'm really not that. I'm pretty technologically inept, so I do really need to get you guys as moderators on my YouTube thing so that you can put your links up there and stuff.
They fixed it. It's much easier now. They fixed it. You can just right click on our comments. There should be the little 3 dots, and you should be able to add moderator. It used to be a horrible pain in the ass.
Oh.
But on your actual YouTube replay with the live chat, you should be able to do that now.
Oh, okay, great. Well, then, look forward to having wrenches next to your names.
Whee!
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, everyone from Total Recall, Mandy, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you. It's nice having you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, if you had fun, I hope you come back. On Tuesday is when we'll all be getting together to watch Steel Magnolias and Ugly Cry, I guess. So
I warned you. Okay. I want all of you to know. I warned you.
Full tilt.
Here we go.
Okay.
How exciting.
Yeah. So thank you, Jay, for coming out and hanging out with us. Thank you for coming, people. Thank you, Black Lives, and everybody else in the chat who stopped by. And yes, thank you, Buttercup, for chiming in and yes, talking about crying. Anyone who watches this after the fact or recommends it to your friends, thank you so much. Please like and please subscribe. And we will see you in a couple weeks for Steel Magnolias. Good night, everyone.
Good night.